Hello, everyone. Good evening. This your boy Tyrus the Warlock, and yeah, we got swept. Cleveland Cavaliers got swept, guys. You know, look, I try to be positive. Try to say we had a good season. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals, but man, oh man, did look. I'm gonna keep my comments about James Harden's to a minimum. I'm just going to say, guys, his comments about being the better team after getting swept. Like, dog, I just can't believe you said that, man. Uh Let me go ahead and pin that to the chat. But yeah, guys, so we got a lot to get into today. Real quick, I want to give you guys an update. So my AI that I've been telling you I've been working on, I've upgraded to Codex on to help building my baby warlock on OpenAI, the Chat GPT, and man, it has turbocharged my productivity. Like it's pretty fun to use. I've been telling you guys all the time, get familiarized with AI, get used to the prompting, get used to trying to be an AI architect. Not necessarily, I mean, an engineer, but more like an architect, more like, being able to put all the systems together and things like that. That is really going to be the future. Um, but yeah, so Baby Warlock, I can speak to it with voice. It responds back in voice. It can open up all of the apps, like it has desktop connectivity. So I could tell it to like go to CNBC on Google Chrome and it'll pull up the tab. I could tell it to open Notepad. I could tell it to open up the Steam app or a specific game. Launch this game on the Steam app and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna put a demo for you guys probably in a couple weeks or so, and make sure I get it polished out. It's really fun. And again, guys, y'all know I'm not a coder. I don't have any background in engineering or programming or anything like this. I've always been interested, and so I just follow instructions, follow along. You know what I mean? And so that's going on right now, guys. Oh yeah, I need to tell you guys something. Um, I understand that as men, we love putting ourselves sometimes in the deep end. Like we really like, going to the part where we don't like going to the shallow end of the pool. We like the deep conversations. That being said, you have to know about places you just can't go. One, because there's really no way to sound good talking about it. And two, you unnecessarily put a target on your back. Uh, Shout out CT. What's good with you, bro? Good seeing you, big dog. You know what I mean? The link is posted if you want to hop up. But some of you guys are unnecessarily putting yourself in situations where you're talking about grown men and attraction to jailbait. And for the love of God, I do not understand why you guys keep doing that to yourself. First off, you're gonna sound like a creep no matter how much you try to justify it. It's a lose-lose situation. And then unfortunately for men like me who got daughters like even close around that age, like guys, what ill. You know what I mean? And what's crazy is I see you guys and I know what you're trying to say. And people are intentionally misconstruing what you're trying to say. But the point was, you should have been grown enough as a man to know, yo, why are you even trying to have this discussion? It's a no-win situation, right? At the end of the day, we all know as men, we could try to have the nuanced discussion, but the moment it might be our daughter specifically, all of a sudden that nuance, we don't give a shit about that, right? And so because you guys know that, why are you even trying to justify it to begin with? And so I really need you guys, especially y'all guys my age and older, which is the majority of you black YouTube content creators. You guys know better. You guys should know better. I like to give you guys the benefit of the doubt and say, I understand you guys were trying to have a deep dive discussion. Again, you guys didn't know the limits, but I understand what you're trying to do. Got what you guys were trying to do. Unfortunately, there's a percentage of y'all out there who probably that doesn't apply to, and you was absolutely trying to send subliminal messages there. But again, I give most of you guys the benefit of the doubt. So I'm just gonna say that guys, stop trying to justify creep behavior. Okay. If you know you want to be caught dead in that situation yourself, stop trying to justify other people being in that situation. It's really simple. All right. So moving on. Speaking of my fellow black man, guys, I guess South America and the Caribbean islands just wasn't good enough for y'all, huh? Y'all had to go start following the white conservatives to Thailand and the Philippines and Vietnam and Cambodia. Like, I just can't imagine that things are this bad that you guys went, you know what? It ain't working out in South America. Let me go ahead and cross the hemisphere. Right. And again, like we keep telling you, I've told you guys over and over again, if you see me on, shout out to Chaotic Truths panel, shout out to hold up. Yes, shout out to Chaotic Truth, shout out to This Might Be Risky, shout out to Fatty and the Untouchables. Shout out to a lot of people that I've been on different panels with, Black Man Unfiltered, shout out to Freezy. Guys, I have been telling y'all, I don't know why that thing says that. Hold up. Yeah, I don't know what y'all been doing, but we got to get it together, man. You guys are just not going to, it's not going to work out. If it's not working out in the impoverished area in South America, where your culture is the most, right? The most integrated, if you will, the most similar, right? The only difference really at that point is language, right? Spanish, Portuguese, whatever it is like that. But you guys are all Christian, both westernized, all that stuff. And it ain't working out there. You guys think it's going to work out in a country in which culture you have next to no similarities to? Y'all understand that, again, you're talking about going to cultures where, yeah, you are going to get a trad wife because you're expected to be a trad husband, and you got to pay for every fucking thing, including the in-laws. Right? And I already know there's a shit ton of you dudes who already heard in-laws and was like, hell no. Well, what do you think you getting yourself into when you go to a Eastern East Asian country? Like seriously, what do you think you're getting yourself into? Right? But this is what happens when you guys come off as pseudo intellectuals, and the reality is you guys are going to places you don't know anything about. Right? Let's be clear, guys. Y'all know everybody here. Everybody that you see these dudes, these passport bros, they not even trying to learn the fucking language of the country they going to. They winging it. And they praying to God somebody there speaks English to bail their asses out. Right? Like I've told people, bro, like if you're gonna at least do this shit, at least go to a country you're interested in. Go to a country there that right? You've always been interested in the culture. You want to, walk around like a typical tourist and take photos of historical monuments and shit like that. And guess what? If it doesn't work out with this one woman or whatever, it's not a big deal. But you dudes, because you're a glorified sex tourist, you dudes go over here for the sole reason that, oh man, this bitch is bad as fuck, bro. You go over there, you get played because you didn't bother learning any of the language. And then y'all got the audacity to come back up here on the internet and whine about getting finessed. Even though, let's be clear, for most of you guys doing this passport shit nowadays, you was going there to these countries with predatory behavior. Again, you was going there knowing the US dollar currency exchange rate, all this other shit, knowing these women are in kind of dicey, struggling, impoverished situations. You was going there to essentially manipulate your way into a relationship, and instead you got manipulated. I don't fucking feel bad for you guys. I just gotta really be honest. I don't feel bad for you. Right? Like, I got more respect for the dudes with mail order brides because the contract is consensual and both parties know what they're getting into. But you fucking passport bros operate like fucking sex tours. You go to these countries for again, very specific reasons. One being you're trying to maximize the US dollar. Right? You're trying to maximize the US dollar in the most impoverished countries you can find. That's why you're fucking flying to Thailand. Right? Like, let's be clear, guys. How many black men y'all heard moving to Thailand speak the language? Can even pronounce who the king is, even know the fucking rules. How about when they go to the Philippines? Again, like I told you, and like everybody's seen, even the passport bros, even they seen motherfuckers go to Cuba, go to Dominican Republic, don't speak any Spanish, don't even try, then get fucking played. Right? Go to the Brazil, don't bother learning any Portuguese, get fucking played. Right? And then guess what? They got the audacity to be mad at the environment and not themselves for putting themselves in a shitty fucking environment. Hey, but we guys are logical, non-emotional thinkers, right? We make common sense decisions. We think we think with our heads, right, guys? Fucking morons, bro. I swear to God, dog. Like every week, y'all do some shit. My fellow men, y'all do some shit that makes me understand why women choose to bear. Every fucking week, bro. I would say every day, but that I got more hope in you guys than that. But every week, bro, y'all be doing shit that just like, God damn, guys. I be trying to speak up for my dudes and y'all just be ruining that shit. Right? Like, where are my men speaking out against this UFC 250 White House bullshit? Like seriously, guys, y'all know this is some horse shit. Y'all know any other president, regardless of party, y'all would not be tolerating this horse shit. But you tolerate it for one person. You don't say shit. Guys, and this gets to my thing about Trump being an agent of chaos because he really does this bullshit because he's a sociopath, but you guys enable it. Like, honestly, if I was Donald Trump, I don't know if I can stop my bad behavior either because my supporters keep paying me to fuck them over. That's a pretty good deal. Right? Like I can scam my supporters. I can scam the voters. I can scam the taxpayers. I can start illegal wars. I could do crypto rug pulls, and all that does is make y'all go hard in the paint for me more. If I was Trump, why would I? I'm about to be 80 years old. I'm about to I'm in my fifth visit to Walter Reed in what, a year and some change. I'm about to croak. I am literally, guys. And I mean like from the perspective of Trump. I am literally going to die without facing any real fucking consequences for my actions. Why would I stop? Why would I stop? And you guys enabled that shit. And guess what? He does the war, Greenland, Canada, Colombia, Venezuela. I know you guys paying attention to the news. I know y'all see we starting to build up on the coast because we want to go to Cuba now. You know what I mean? We about to. I guess we got to invade Cuba now. Cuba's the next biggest fucking threat, right? And look at them guys. Look, the moment we get into it, I love Trump. Why do you hate the president? He was sent by Christ's face. Yo, this got to be rage bait, dog. Come on, bro. That got to be rage bait, bro. Trump. Oh no, Trump buddy. Good seeing you, yo, again. Here we go. Desperation look like who? Here we go. I told y'all, man. Hey, this is our relationship up on this pod. They coming out the woodwork. Special master, good seeing you. Cruise ship, weed, lottery, liquor, clubs, restaurants. But nobody got money complaining about gas. First and foremost, the cruise ships, the clubs, the weed, lottery, liquor, restaurants, those social media joints don't represent everybody. And then on top of that, bro, even wealthy people are complaining about gas because gas shouldn't be this fucking high for anybody. And by the way, the biggest people who got beef with gas is of businesses, especially like truckers and shipping and planes, because they use diesel, right? Like, yeah, a lot of people using they money on liquor to fucking drown themselves out in sorrow, bro. Black Hawk, yo, what's good, man? You are right, because they say there's no woman in America marriage material, but they become passport bros and they don't get married either. Yep. Because Black Hawk, they go over there to these non-Western countries. Because Black Hawk, I want to be clear here. Like, it ain't America. It's Western countries, because they ain't taking their asses to like Denmark or Germany. Hell, they not taking their asses to developed countries in Africa, Black Hawk. Right? They're taking their places to shit shows. They're taking their talents to shit shows. Right? And so they get there, and I'm not calling the women or the people there shit shows. I'm calling, again, their economic situation a lot of times, because their governments happen to be worse than ours. I don't know how that's possible, but some people manage to pull that off, right? And so they go over there and then realize, oh, wait, this is what an actual non-Western woman expects in a non-Western relationship in this non-Western society. And Black Hawk, these dudes fucking bolt. You know what I mean? And it's almost as if, damn, bro, you can't find women in the West. You can't find women in the East. At what point are you going to just come to realize, bro, nah, it ain't really the women's, it's you. You know what I mean? Let's see. We got Carlos Acosta. This is what an emotional male looks like. Too much mothering and no fathering. Are you talking about Trump? You talking about me? Like, bro, you gotta be clear about that. Robbie Burris, Cubans are tough. I agree. Gringo Loco 420 says Russia is currently recruiting Cuban nationalists that are willing to go and fight in Ukraine. And isn't Cuba ran by communism? How is it going? Russia has been recruiting foreign nationals Russia's been recruiting foreign nationals like Cuba, like Cubans forever now. Like this isn't anything new. Okay, they've been recruiting to for their military all the time. They're notorious for using foreign mercenaries and shit like that. Right. And by the way, like, yeah, Cuba is ran by communism. They're a shit show. We're ran by capitalism and we're a shit show. So looks like neither of them works really well, does it? Special master, again, 70% of black homes in Detroit have no fathers. Okay. You know what? We're going to look up this stat. We're going to see what you're talking about, bro. Ugh. No, the claim of 70% of black men in Detroit have no fathers is a pervasive myth. The number often stems from a misunderstanding of non-marital birth rates, which frequently conflate with total paternal absence. See, I got time, guys. Yo, how do I take the private thoughts thingy off? Strange. Yeah, guys. There we go. It's real quick. This is why I paused, because I saw this comment and I have to agree. Like, I don't care. I don't understand why they care so much. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the people who make these comments about black men are dudes who don't have steady father figures in their life, if any. You get what I mean? Like let's stop pretending like white America got their shit together. Like we see the state of the country and we learning about our fellow Americans too. And let's be clear, everybody's clearly got their issues. You know what I mean? Blackhawk, they have recruited our current right, man. Like, yo, y'all know, guys, y'all know we're the villains. As far as the world, the global society goes, we are currently the villains. We're not the good guys. We literally, and the guys is still sitting in jail, which is also, by the way, if y'all paying attention, it's gonna start looking dicey with that Maduro kidnapping. Guys, that shit, the Greenland crap, the Canada, the global trade war, the war in Iran, the bombing of Iran the first time last year. We're the villains. The schools we bombed. You know what I mean? Like, we're the villains, guys. Like, Willie Thomas, the government caused it. Yeah. And what sucks, Willie Thomas, is that it's almost like, this might be a little bit too nerdy, but it's almost like the Flash or Spider-Man in their early days, Willie. A lot of they crime fighting, or a lot of they achievements, was more or less them fixing their own fucking problems. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't cause some shit that they gotta solve, end up being a threat to the city, right? And then it wasn't late till later down the line that they really matured and got their shit together. Unfortunately, our government never seems to get our shit together. You know what I mean? So it's HDMI cable, not to stereotype, but Americans seem like they will take any chance to attack each other. HDMI. I'm not sure what country you're from, but unfortunately, you're correct. Um, I've said it, and I say it kind of half jokingly, but it's kind of also true, bro. America as a culture, we are a warrior race, and it really seems like we got to be at combat at odds with somebody. Even if we have to fucking invent a boogeyman, bro, as you can see, we will absolutely do it. Um, yeah, I don't know how else to say it, man. It sucks, you know what I mean? You from oh yo, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Shout out to you from Mongolia. That's pretty dope, bro. Yo, what hey, just real quick, what time is it out there? Special master, welfare said if there's a father in the home, no EBT, no section 8, no insurance. Dog, what are you yapping about? All right, now you just yap, 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 yap. All right. Like, come on, guys. Um, but yes, yeah, so Trump again, guys, this thing with him constantly, again, he starts all of this crap. We got nonstop chaos everywhere. Nonstop chaos everywhere. And then did you guys see him demanding that the Gulf countries sign on the Abraham Accords in protection of Israel? After you just started a fucking war on their behalf, and now you're demanding that, again, these Middle Eastern countries bail you out of your own piss poor decision making. Guys, this is just like, again, weeks ago before that, he was trashing NATO, aka our European allies. Why? Because they want to bail him out of his own piss poor decision making. You know what I mean? HDMI cable 827 for me. Yo, good morning, bro. Glad you spend the time with us in your morning, man. Hope you have a great day. Uh, Louis, Trump is trash. Agreed. Special Master, the Nile's not just a river in Egypt. Louis, we the people stand with Tucker, free Palestine and Lebanon. Yeah, free Palestine, free Lebanon. I do not stand with Tucker though, bro. Just because I might ally with him or I might agree with him on this specific issue doesn't erase all the garbage he has said about his fellow Americans, including fellow Americans that look like me, right? Just because there's some overlap now don't mean we fucking allies. Sean Gocher, Trump is so corrupt. Angry man, dog. Yeah. 2 a.m., 3 a.m., texting nonstop in the morning or tweeting nonstop in the morning. Right? Like, have y'all noticed something? It ain't just Trump. It's with a lot of these billionaires. Like, guys, like take a stroll through Elon Musk's Twitter or X, however you want to call it. Why are these billionaires so fucking miserable? They hate everything and everyone around them. You would think you got billions. Y'all got multiple baby mamas that ain't giving y'all no fucking problems. I don't know how y'all got that shit figured out. Right? Y'all dodging fucking fines, giving yourselves contracts. What do you guys got to be pissed off for? And yet, when you look at these, I mean, for God's sakes, Jeff Bezos is whining about, y'all saw him on that interview the other week. He over here whining about taxes and getting taxed. Bro, you shut down a whole fucking city in Italy just to get married. Why in God's name are you complaining, dog? Like, shut up. Shut up. But these are the kind of men who will justify firing tens of thousands of people through a text message. through a chat bot. Talking about, all acting like life is just unfair for them and shit like that. Like, bro, oh, Louis says, I understand. Yeah, man. Again, some is saying like I don't know what side you typically rock with, Louis, but them clowns like the Nick Fuentes and that don't like Nick Fuentes trashing everybody right now. Don't change the fact that he's a self-described neo-Nazi. I don't fuck with him, dog. You get what I mean? Like I don't really care what you got to say. You clearly said, and you've clearly made it clear that on 99.9% of the issues in the environment in the country we live in, you're my enemy. So I don't care that you and I rock on the 0.1%. You know what I mean? That can't do that, Louis. 389 Rescue says, only problem is that liberals are dumber than a rock. Stop listening to paid propaganda. Hey, bro, how's the release of the Epstein files going? How's Infrastructure Week going? How's the concept of a healthcare plan working out so far? Now, is that working out for you? Not working out for the rest of the country, I can tell you that. This is the kind of comment that a 3-time Trump voter would make. Right? And just completely oblivious, just lacking self-awareness. Right? I guarantee you this dude voted for Obama. I bet for Trump 3 times. And talking about anybody's dumb. Sean says Trump wants revenge. What's he going to do if he loses this time? Scary. Well, that's the thing, Sean. Remember, he can't run again. I guarantee we can all be reasonable and say, yes, him and his cabinet absolutely kicked that can down the road. They went down that rabbit hole to see if they could find a way to finesse themselves and to getting Trump to run for a 3rd term. And at this moment, I can't even rule out the fact, Sean, that one of the reasons he's pushing for this stupid ass bunker or this ballroom is because he don't plan on leaving. And Sean, I really wish I didn't have to take that into consideration. But Sean, he didn't try to leave. He didn't leave on his own the first time. So why should I expect him to go peacefully the second time? You know what I mean? And so, but until we get to that point, right, and until that future manifests itself, if you will, he ain't got to worry about losing. Right? This is his last term. And then he gets to literally go down to Mar-a-Lago if he ain't already there on his last day. Right? And he is going to end his presidency in, whatever last years of his life on the beach, not being held accountable for anything. Unfortunately, Sean, that's the reality. And that's his revenge. Ultimately, his entire life is going to be the revenge. He got away with fucking everything. He's going to bite the dust, giving us the middle finger. Because let's be clear. Yeah, crime for some people do pay. There are clearly men who are above the law. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, all these clowns on the Epstein files prove that every single day. You know what I mean? Jay Brown, KIA. Hi, hey, Jay Brown, how you doing, man? Good seeing you. 389, yeah, the left supports Gates, who wants to reduce the population by mass and end the left by denying healthcare. The population does not support Bill Gates. Not anymore. First and foremost, did you see homeboy in the Epstein files? Bro, we've been trashing this clown left and right. And then on top of that, he's still one of the billionaires who regardless of his fucking comments, and I know some people are gonna point to his comments back in the day about, hey, yo, we should get taxed more. At the end of the day, bro, he's one of the tech bros that is fucking ruining our lives right now. I tell you what, 389, and I think you can agree with me, the country, including the left, they like his ex-wife a lot more. Just like Bezos' ex-wife, like her a lot more. But Bill Gates himself, nah, dog, like cut that shit out. Respectfully. HDMI, I don't get how people support Trump. He's not even a cool dictator. He just talks a lot. And again, HDMI, he's a wannabe authoritarian. He's not a dictator. He wants to be. He definitely looks up to these fucking clowns. But yeah, HDMI, if you take a look at some more of the videos, like learning about us in America, like you're gonna see, bro, there's a percentage of us across across all demographics in this country. Their identity is actually tied politically. Like, if you took away the political identity, they wouldn't be able to actually describe themselves or describe what they into. Like HDMI, you see, I got the drone back here. I got anime. I mean, just to let you know, bro, I'm married with kids, so I'm always doing that shit. You know, I'm into the AI coding. I got the yard I got to maintain. I got dogs and stuff. Like, and guess what? There's even people like me. There's a bunch of dudes like me who got a bunch of different other shit. But then there are people, literally, HDMI, you'll go on their background and everything is political. Right? You think it's cool because it just starts off with the American flag. And guys, y'all know I ain't shitting on the American flag as a combat veteran. How could I? But it starts looking like you're cheering for your favorite sports team, right? And then you really look in the background and or like the background, what I mean, and you hear them speak and you're like, wait, can you talk about anything else except this? You know what I mean? Because like, again, guys, I'm not the best content creator out here, obviously. But y'all see me, man. I'm gonna kick on the stream. We're gonna play Forza, we're gonna play Call of Duty, we're gonna play Battlefield, we're gonna do all kind of stuff, man. Just, you know, being engaged and kicking it like that. I cannot be coming up here every single time and only speaking about politics. Just like I can't understand the people that do that shit with just like relationships all day, every day. Like y'all, but again, HDMI, I know that was kind of crazy, but unfortunately, that's the bigger point, HDMI. There's people in here in America, bro, their identity, they don't really know who they are past team red or blue. It's crazy. Is that Siamese stormtrooper? I really hope I said that right. Imagine needing the government to pay for your health care. That's gay. Most countries, even with better GDP per capita and better purchasing power than us, have universal healthcare, single payer healthcare. The most functioning Western style countries, those Nordic countries, pay for the healthcare. Like, healthcare should be a fundamental right, and it should be something that the government provides as a service. Right? That's something our taxpayer money should absolutely go to for all of us. Right? 389 says, how did Obamacare go? It did its job initially. It slowed down the increasing healthcare coverage rates. Unfortunately, like I've covered multiple times in this pod, bro, it's the government's job to actively manage these policies. They not only did that, bro, they tried to just repeal the healthcare policy and not even replace it with anything. You know, that's on them. You know what I mean? Braxton, shout out to you, bro. Good seeing you here. Special Master says +4 while an exact single point figure for the exact number of fathers. Oh my God, I ain't reading this shit. He just gonna go on and on. Siamese Stormtrooper yes, I would rather have the party that put me on house arrest for nothing for 3 years than the party that takes time to deliver on policy. Of course, How could that be? What? Which which party are you talking about? Which party put you on house arrest? Uh, let's see. Sean, exactly. Can just tuning in for the first time. Love it. Hey, shout out to you, Sean. Shout out to you from Canada, bro. I love you guys. I respect you guys. Yo, y'all got a nice military history, by the way. That, like I said, I'm a veteran, bro. You might not pay attention. I like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It sucks, and I'm really sorry on behalf of my country for our country's disrespect. We should be like we really should be combined, like Canada, US, Mexico, bro. We would torch the fucking EU and China. You know what I mean, Sean? It we would once again be the undisputed superpower, and it wouldn't be close. It wouldn't be close. Almost like he deserves that after the Democratic Party hounded him for decades over nothing. I'm sorry, what does a public servant, an elected official deserve? And the Democratic Party hounded him for decades. What are you talking about? By the way, do you know Donald Trump donated to both parties for his entire life until he decided to run for president? Like I'm not sure exactly what we're doing here. Special Master, Clinton, Obama, Biden all had the files. Bro, first off, Clinton, that might have been before his time. That might have been before his time, Special. That doesn't make any sense because I can throw Bush in there, Special. And by that logic, Bush had the files. Remember, because I think Epstein actually originally got caught up in like 06, 07 or some bullshit like that, right? Or then, of course, Trump had the files, right? I noticed you didn't put Trump in the first term in there. Trump had the files when Epstein was arrested again in 2019. Arrested and died under the Trump administration. He had a whole year and a half with the files, Special. So make sure you post this again and put Trump's name in there. All right. Siamese, all of Biden's family and close staff. Come on, dog. Oh, you're talking about. Wait, are you talking about the Democrats hounding Joe Biden's family or Joe Biden hounding Trump? Real quick, bro. I'm not sure here. Immortal Coil. Shout out to you. How Anthony Weiner's laptop had kill switches in it, and all 11 officers who saw it ended up getting deleted. Epstein is one of their networks. Hell yeah, bro. Yo, Anthony Weiner, by the way, what a disgusting pig. And y'all know I have no problem trashing my own party. But y'all see these clowns like Anthony Weiner, bro, when they get caught up in shit, they don't get to stay in the fucking clique. They don't get to stay in the clubhouse. You got to get the hell out. Meanwhile, Republican Party will protect they corrupt ass people because, you know, we need the votes. Siamese, they aren't going to fuck you, bro. They're not going to fuck you either, dog. Let's see. Paul's Patio Gates. Let's see. Was afraid mosquitoes but had sex unprotected, get an SC. Yeah, bro. That story was crazy. And you remember his comments like, hey, man, you know, I regret my time with Epstein. And it's not funny, but you know what I mean? Like, oh, shit, dog. I'm so glad she stood on business and left him after that fucking shit, dog. I'm so glad. Like, bro. How come Melania can't stand on business, Paul? Just want to know that. Special Master. Ask libtards what their real number one issue is. Healthcare. It's abortions. No, it's healthcare. Google Margaret Sanger and what she says about unfit people. We actually already covered that yesterday and a week ago on this network on BMU. Go watch some of our past streams, bro. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised. HDMI, that's kind of sad. I agree. So your personality is this is a political string, comic book movies, your lawn, AI coding, awesome set, bro. It's a lot more than that, but yeah, it's pretty basic over here, dog. Uh, Liberty Twitcher, but those Nordic countries don't have the obesity we do. Most adults are obese now. Agreed, Liberty Twitcher, but as you know, there's multiple reasons that go into a functioning society, right? Now, actually, I know we're a big ass country, and this actually is why we should have been harping or we should have been more intentional with installing public transportation all over our country, because those Nordic countries, Liberty, one thing they have with their healthcare system is great access to public transportation. They got some of the best bus and railways and networks in the world, man. Like, yo, when I was stationed in Germany for 5 years, Liberty, the Strassenbahn go everywhere. And like, yo, the intervals was like 10, 15 minutes depending. And it would always like you had a clear schedule and it was super affordable. You didn't need a car. A car was a luxury. Here in America, Liberty, our country's biggest shit. So I understand more of us are going to need a car, but unfortunately, Liberty, even in our metro areas, we have not designed our cities properties for a plethora of reasons. We haven't designed our suburbs property, and we have become hyper dependent on cars, right, to get us everywhere. That's why a lot of people, we don't encourage walking. A lot of people don't, bro, and a lot of that has to do with how your environment is designed. Honestly, like there's a lot of YouTube videos and people that cover that. I'm probably going to go over that a little bit. There's a lot of people, Liberty, that put it a lot better than I can. You know what I mean? 70 million special says 70 million abortions worldwide last year. Okay. Bruce Young, one of the reasons why healthcare costs so much is because the daily habits of Americans. Half America is diabetic or pre-diabetic based on what they eat. Why should I pay for lifetime insulin? Hey, bro, I agree with a lot of the health issues, but you can't be mad at the people with insulin problems if most of the grocery stores are selling processed food, right? Some of our like Bryce Young, do you see this is one of the rates that screwed me up, Bryce. You know, we got hundreds of thousands of people who go into a hospital and sometimes come out of the hospital more sick than when they entered. That's kind of ass backwards, right? And so I agree that our healthcare, that our daily habits, but again, man, like I talked about with public transportation, um, a lot of the crap we put in our food, man, like there is a lot of things that deals with functioning government that has to go into fixing the daily habits of Americans. As much as I also agree that we got to be responsible for the food for the food we put in our mouths, bro. You know what I mean? But right, it's both. It takes two to tango. HDMI, wait, you're a veteran. I'm in the military, bro. Are you in the Mongolian military? Uh-oh. Let's go. A special master, then Google who gets the more abortion in America. I don't care. Uh, let's see. Mr. Shao, I think Trump was sent by Jesus. Not true change were invented by communists or propaganda. Hey, Aruba Tuba says Melania can't stand on business because staying with Donald Trump is her business. If she leaves, she gets nothing. She's counting the seconds until that fat orange shit stain croaks. You think that's probably written in that prenup, right, Aruba? But don't you think that shit had stipulations though? You know what I mean? I'm sure that thing has stipulations that she could have left his ass and took some bread easily. Jay Brown, can a Republican on here name a Republican president who has paid down the deficit, have positive job growth, and not have inflation during their presidency? Jay Brown, they're gonna have a hard time doing that. They're gonna unfortunately have to hit the history books, right? They might be talking about before we had color TV. That's going to be the time periods they're going to be referencing. Exactly, Jay Brown. Who pays for Congress and senators' healthcare plan? We got people who get healthcare paid by taxpayers telling y'all don't deserve affordable healthcare or universal healthcare. But we gonna get our shit though. And after only 5 years of serving in Congress in the House, we're entitled to an annual stipend. Okay. HDMI. I'm in the Mongolian military. Yo, bro. Yo, that's pretty cool. Yo, yeah, I was in the army 8 years active duty, bro. I joined when I was 18. You know what I mean? It is different, but you know, what was it like for you, bro? You know what I mean? Like, did you always just stay in Mongolia, or were you able to travel around and see some different places? RJ, growing with the 918. The thing about the food though is all the chemicals they use are not needed. They do it on purpose. Agreed, man. 100% agreed. Uh, I don't want to say it was designed to keep us sick, but it was intentional, RJ, about the corn syrup being added into our foods because it was a way to prop up the farm industry, right? Because we got a whole bunch of corn, but a lot of the problem was, right, corn really isn't profitable because it's so plentiful. And so that's why you've had the shit with like the corn, the ethanol or whatever being up in our fuel, right? The corn syrup and all this crap being in our food. It's a way to prop up a lot of these sectors of industries that really capitalism, the free market said should have died off a long time ago. You know what I mean? Midnight 875. You could see it in her face. Yeah. Yo, them videos where they be catching her slapping Trump's hand. That's a miserable arrangement, man. 40 Boys Dream, she been tied since Epstein. I know, man, and I know like some of the files that been forced to be released. It's crazy, 40, especially because again, her deciding to do that random ass uh address to the nation, addressing the Epstein files and her name being mentioned, involvement in there. Why would you do that? Why would you do that unless you know something down the line is going to happen soon and you are trying to cover your ass? Because again, she didn't break it to some random reporter. She got up on literal national, like a national fucking televised address to the nation to talk specifically about Epstein. Hey, holy shit. Heath, good seeing you, bro. America's healthcare system costs more than the way it is, the way it should be if it was run by doctors. Heath, yep, fun fact. Our healthcare right now, as a matter of fact, I'm about to pull that up. What? Oh, come on, hurry up. we spend $2.4 trillion annually on healthcare. So on any given year, Heath, that's about 45 to 50% of our budget, right? Right now, without raising the budget and probably lowering, it'll probably end up lowering the budget, Heath. We can have world class universal health care in this country and it wouldn't be close. So when people say, oh, universal health care is going to cost too much, no, it's not. It's not going to cost any more than it costs now. That's a fact. And if our government actually actively manages it instead of just passing legislation and then trying to forget about it, it's going to save even more money. And then again, you cannot even begin to quantify the back end savings of healthcare when we have things like preventive, like when people could go have access for, acute care, preventive measures, things like that. That's going to save a lot of money in the long run over other costs. You know what I mean? But we don't, hey, Heath, we don't have a long term vision. We so addicted to quick fixes, man. Just came back from a station in South Korea. Nice, man. How was that? I hope you enjoyed it. Or she was just trying to get the voice out of the victim so she could kill them. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is this: I don't do the poor Melania thing anymore because here's the one thing we do know for certain. She absolutely knew what she was getting herself into. And she's had plenty of opportunities to leave, right? To stand on whatever virtue you want to claim or whatever. She's had plenty of opportunities to do that. And she stayed. Now, I want to be clear here. When you take a step back, ain't that what you want your wife to do? You want your wife to be a ride or die, you know what I mean? Like, of course your old lady ain't supposed to trash you in public. Like let's be clear, take a step back and let's be clear about that. That part, right? You can't blame her for that. Like nobody should expect of the first lady to be trashing a man. You know what I mean? But when she had plenty of opportunities to bounce when she wasn't the first lady. But her ass stayed there anyway. Dorothy, God bless America. God bless Trump. I'm so thankful. No tax on my tips and Social Security. Oh my God, man. Y'all just be drinking the Kool-Aid. I see. What was it called? Jonestown? Like I see how people like just come on, man. HDMI, how was it in the American military? It was cool, bro. I miss my homeboys. I'm not gonna say I'd do it again. Um, I miss the homies. I'm glad I got the experience, though. You know what I mean? Like, uh, I got to be stationed in Germany for 5 years. I also got to not got to, but I had to deploy to Iraq twice. You know what I mean? So I mean, I got some experience. But overall, bro, I'm glad I got it. You know what I mean? Phone auto talk. Trump is the best at being corrupt. What kind of channel is this, man? I don't even know yet. Special master, economic toll. Some congressional reports argued that the loss of unborn lives was. Oh God, why? He is going special master. You gonna do this the whole time, dog? Of all the things we got going on in our country and around the world, you want to harp on abortion? Really? I don't. Some of you guys, and I don't know if this applies to special, but some of you guys are single issue voters, right? You're only going to go to the polls or not go to the polls for one issue. And in this country, in America specifically, that issue tends to overwhelmingly be abortion. Mind your own fucking business, right? Somebody got an abortion right now, and you're not going to lose any fucking sleep over it, nor do you actually care, right? The same reason I don't talk about or try to tell a woman what she can or can't do with her body is because I don't want anybody telling me what I can and can't do with my dick and balls. You see the standard there? I don't want anybody telling me what I can or can't do with my body. I got no business telling somebody else what they can and can't do. Real fucking simple. Right? And then obviously what's crazy is that there is a consensus on, again, 15, 20 weeks, right? There seems to be somewhere in between there where, look, after that, hey, look, unless it's a medical emergency, life of the mom, that kind of stuff, miscarriage, right? You got to go through that. But again, even there's those restrictions. Why are you so obsessed with women and abortions, especially when you'll be the first fucking person, aka the collective, the demographic, to start calling them welfare queens and fucking single moms and leechers to society and fucking gonna be on nonstop government assistance for the rest of their life. Like, damn, bro, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. So women, since that's the reality, you do what the fuck you want, please. Just do what the fuck you want. You do what you're supposed to do as an American, as a red-blooded American. All right, because let's be clear, if us dudes could get pregnant, they'd be able to fucking get an abortion pill in one of them candy machines inside the grocery store for like 25 cents. All right, let's cut this shit out. So nah, fuck, like guys, stop pretending like you give a shit about this issue. Okay? Heath, abortion is truly a non-issue. The young generation is playing it smarter. Also, if my neighbor has an abortion, I'm not accountable or responsible for that action, not normally or legally. Yes, and dog, like I gotta go off again, Heath. These guys don't want abortion. They're gonna make all this big stink about abortion, right? They're the same motherfuckers that don't want to pay property tax that goes to the schools that these fucking kids will eventually have to go to. Right? So you don't want the woman to get an abortion, but you don't want to support the kid. You don't want to pay for a public education. You don't want to help educate the child in a post-education. You don't want housing to be affordable. You don't want to fix the goddamn roads and bridges in our infrastructure. You're supporting Donald Trump bringing 600,000 Chinese students over here. That's going to make it harder for said children to get a job. Right? All of these fucking contradictions, but somehow the unborn is what you're fucking worried about. You guys make me fucking sick, man. You guys are so fucking hypocritical and pathetic. Oh, David Rowe, Democrats support Islam, illegals, fraud, and their only platform is the orange bad man. David Rowe, who's that? Who the fuck is that, David? Nah, David, you was up in the chat. I need you to type that right now. Whose photo is that? Who are we looking at right now? I'm looking at the former king of Saudi Arabia, a Muslim, with who? Who am I looking at, David? Who looked like a goddamn fucking villain with his hand on a glowing ball? Who right now looks like they support Islam, David? Hey, David, Donald Trump is bringing in 600,000 Chinese students. He stopped the deportations. He, by the way, got caught multiple times hiring illegals himself. He already said those illegals that were in, the South Koreans that were in Georgia. Remember, he got in that national interview and said, yo, we need them because Americans are too dumb to do that job. David, take a look. You ain't catch Obama or Biden doing a photo like that. That's Donald Trump buddies with the people that helped the conspiracy of 9/11, bro. And you want to talk about anybody supporting Islam? Shut up, respectfully. Heath, real talk. Yep. We are paying for it. What are you talking about? Abortions. Most of the vast majority of abortions are not funded by the government. And then on top of that, I think the ones for minors, I'm not sure if I would have a problem, even if it was. I'm just going to be honest. But special, I don't fucking care. Tony Tigers, there's only like 30 forms of birth control free. Yep. The dudes could wear condoms too, right? Takes two to tango. You know what I mean? So tell that to the guys too. Mel, so what the flexion master is Trump job buddy to do for him? So if the Dems do anything with the Middle East, with anybody in the Middle East, they support Islam and Sharia law and all this other shit. But if Trump does it, it's foreign policy. It's diplomacy. You're a fucking hypocrite, respectfully. Mossad, idiot support clown Trump. Unfortunately, man, but Trump loves the uneducated, and they come up on these YouTube streets and the social media every single day and prove him right. Damn, close they legs. You forgot that one. Yeah, keep your dick in your pants too. You forgot that as well. Male 500 million a year subsidized with federal tax dollars. Are you talking about Elon Musk's government contracts? Not sure. The point is the Dems openly admit it, man. Sure they do. By the way, Trump openly pulled crypto rug pulls, is openly protecting the sex trafficking of minors by pedophiles. Well, openly support abortion? Mel, yes. Yes, who cares? Like, yes, it should, like, again, if it's subsidized, I don't have a problem with it, Mel. I really don't, because you know what? $500 million a year is going to freaking be cheaper than what we're going to end up paying as taxpayers over the lifetime of that child. If all we're talking about is just pure financials, that is a reality. Let's see. He says Trump's so bad at foreign policy. He's trying to get Islamic nations to, yep. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, man. He's trying to get these Gulf countries to sign the Abraham Accords. And update on that, guys. So as y'all know, the ceasefire got broken because they started launching attacks at each other again. And then Trump said we was close to a ceasefire agreement, but I thought it was a peace deal. But apparently it's a ceasefire agreement, but apparently now the ceasefire hasn't been broken up. But I'm not sure why we're trying to do another ceasefire deal if the first ceasefire was. That's how confused the Gulf states are, Heath, when it comes to Trump and his decision making. You know what I mean? Carpenter Patriot, your point on abortion is pure evil. No, it's not. I 100% disagree. My point on abortion is pure facts and sound logic. Jazz Tree, can't wait for the big. Hey, come on, bro. Y'all know. Jazz Tree, you know it ain't gonna be no red wave, right? Come on. You should know there's not gonna be a red wave because of all the Trump loyalists that won their primaries. Do you not understand how many independents are not? You now need to calculate the amount of independents who are going to purposely show up to vote against them, and the amount of independents who are conservative who, again, are looking at all this shit and they're gonna go, you know what? I'm just not gonna vote. Trump loyalists winning all of those primaries across the country is the worst thing that could have happened to the Republican Party. Tyrone, how come Trump thinks he's never wrong? What's crazy is he's never wrong, Tyrone, because he doesn't have. This is what happens when you surround yourself with people who will never tell you you're wrong, right? Even if the slightest thing happens, right? Oh, it's someone else's fault, right? It's always going to be something like that, right? If he gets it right, he's the only reason it worked. He's the only reason things went right. But if things don't work out, if things go wrong, buck don't stop with him. He ain't had nothing to do with it. Yo, it's all these, like, it's the people he hired. Oh man, they was bad at their job. Right? And so that's why he thinks he's never wrong. Well, one reason he thinks he's never wrong because he's surrounded by people who won't tell him that. And then two, Tyrone, unfortunately, he hasn't been held accountable at any point in his life to think he's been wrong. Tyrone, damn near everything he's done, he's been rewarded for it. That's why I said earlier, man, from the perspective of Trump, would you think you did anything wrong? If you constantly seem to fail up, right? Like, Mary Beth, the big red wave is all the Republicans waving goodbye. Yeah. And hey, look, for you 2-3-time Trump supporters out there, Trump voters out there, I hope it was worth it. There's not enough war hawks in the Republican Party, at least as far as Republican voters go. There's not enough to save the Republicans for what's going to happen in the midterms. Because you got way too many guys. Y'all realize it's 20 guys. We got Republicans who are war hawks who aren't down with this fucking war. That's how jacked up this shit is. That's how screwed up the Republicans are going to. And to Mary's point, they waving goodbye. And again, these are people who, let's be clear, They come from backgrounds. They never gonna vote for a Democrat, guys. Okay. But they also not gonna show up to the polls, right? There's a lot of shit going on. Miri Derek. Hey, is it cool if I just call you Derek? Just in future reference? Because you will have World War III next month. I really hope not. Adam Palmer, winning is the worst thing. It depends on what you win. Right, Adam? If we won a global trade war and an economic crash, that not really a nice prize. Uh Len Smith, not true. What's not true, bro? Tyrone, can you say Jim Jones? Yep, man. All of it. All of it. And you know what's crazy, bro? Again, Trump won't even drink his own Kool-Aid, but everybody else will be that loyal and drink it for him. You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit we dealing with. Eddie Too Cool says, are there still Democrats? I thought they all moved out. That's what they said they were gonna do. Man, what, a handful of freaking what randoms like Rosie O'Donnell or something like that? And by the way, she's a fucking joke because didn't she move back, Eddie? Hey, hold on, like to shit on my side a little bit. Did it take? She left and then fucking came back, dog. Yo, like hold up, bro. Yo, stand on business. If you gonna fucking leave and don't come back. You know what I mean? But that was a very few people. That was like a lot of. Hey, Eddie, did you see? You know why I won't put this on Republicans, but I could do the same thing. Look at those conservative dudes who who went to Russia. I know you done seen them articles and them clowns that moved their family to Russia, and now one of them American dudes is actually having to fight for the Russian army in Ukraine. I hope it was worth it, dog. Len Smith, I will never vote for a stinking Democrat. Hey, man, then you ain't got to vote for the Republican either. But I'm just saying, if you vote for a Trump-loving Republican, can you really look at anybody in the face and be like, I care about the release of the Epstein files? I care about access to healthcare. I care about the roads and bridges. I care about actually getting rid of corruption. BioTeach, why would anyone vote Democrat? Because you actually want healthcare. You actually like the CHIPS Act. You actually like the investment into our students, our children, into our roads and our bridges, into science and things like that. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to vote Democrat. I will be voting Republican. All right, bro. I guess. Hey, look, you Republican voters seem to have a kink. Like you guys seem to like, you know, self-inflicted pain or something like that. Hey, y'all do y'all, bro. This is America. Special master because they're evil. Sure. Bio teach Republicans are the future. Sure. Astro Chronic, you're not wrong. I think we're watching some of the most epic Machiavellian theater in history. Man, yeah. You know what? I am going to be perfectly honest with you, Astro. The reason why I paused with your comment is because straight up, I need to look up Machiavellian theater. All right. I'm going to be real truthful with you guys. If I don't understand like concepts that well, right, or Machiavellian and then understand what you mean, right? Okay. Yeah, someone who's cunning, deceitful, and ruthlessly pragmatic and achieving their. Yeah, okay, got it. Now I got it. You know what I mean? Hey, that's what I'm gonna do, guys. If I don't know some shit, or if I'm a little bit like, I'm not gonna pretend like I know everything because I don't. Right? I know I don't know shit. I know a lot more than a typical Trump supporter, but I know I don't know shit. Bio Teach, nice headphones. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Lens, it's not loyalty to Trump, it's distrust of the Democrat terrorist organization. Jordan, there is no logical reason to be a conservative. When it comes to national elections, I agree. Like when it comes to federal elections, I actually agree. But I guess that's the thing, right? Political conservative, it's tough. Conservative on how you move on the day to day, there's nothing wrong with that. I think most people probably operate conservative. But like when we're voting, man, we're supposed to be voting as a collective and voting for each other and voting for our neighbors and shit. Voting for each other's pockets, not just our own. You get what I mean? But a political conservative, but like Jordan, what it means to be an American conservative, yeah, absolutely not. There is absolutely no reason to logically be that, right? Adam Palmer, oh yeah, BMU, yeah, shout out to BMU. Yo, guys, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button, please. You know, this helps the channel. Do that fun stuff, please. Adam Palmer, who in their right mind agrees 100% with anyone? I support Trump, but not as far as Israel. There's no Kool-Aid, just a little sense, my guy. Adam Palmer, he is covering up the sex trafficking of minors by other pedophiles. Wouldn't you agree that, yes, it should go without saying that nobody should, and most people don't support anybody 100%, but there's certain issues that you shouldn't just support somebody for regardless? Like, I don't care if you're a good businessman, Adam. If you're covering up the sex trafficking of minors, you shouldn't be the fucking president. You shouldn't be a fucking leader of anything. A public official, a public servant, elected official, anything. Like I don't understand. Like this is strange. Like what's crazy is you guys didn't have to say that about Mitt Romney, and yet Republicans had all-time low voter turnout with that guy. You didn't have to say that with McCain, but you also had low voter turnout with that guy. And yet the dude with the most morally bankrupt checklist imaginable, well, I got to support him 100%. What the fuck? Oh. Okay. Trucking for Truth, I can't wait to the last day. On that last day, it will be God who will be laughing in the day of your calamity. Ma'am, I say this as a guy who is a deitist with a D. God might be real, could be real, but he does not give two shits about the day-to-day activity of us mere mortals. Okay? He didn't give a shit about all the people that got enslaved. He didn't give a shit about the Irish when the British was freaking massacring them left and right. He didn't give a shit about the Japanese and what Unit 731 did to the Cambodians and the Philippines and the Chinese and the Vietnamese and so many other Southeast Asian cultures. He didn't give a shit. He didn't show up with the Holocaust. And by the way, all you Christians and all this crap talking about the unborn child, he ain't showed up with all these millions of children being aborted. Stop talking about God as if you know his intentions. You don't know him, and he clearly doesn't know or give a shit about you or any one of us on this planet. Okay? We are mere mortals. A god, a deity, does not concern themselves with the likes of mere mortals. All right. Shane, as if Biden or Kamala would be better. Yes, they absolutely would. Chain, fuck the left. You are over. Fuck you too, buddy. Shout out to you, though. Adam Palmer, come on. Yes, we care a lot about the files. Are you retarded? No, you don't. Because now you guys are running the same crap that Trump is saying. Remember, Trump was like, yeah, if y'all care about the Trump files, you can't be MAGA. I define what MAGA is. You remember that, Adam? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yo, if you guys so care about the Epstein files, you guys are a bunch of losers. y'all don't represent me. I don't rock with y'all. Y'all not my supporters. Adam, is that true? Christy Moore, Trump has released over 3. No, he hasn't. Yo, stop this horse shit. Y'all come up here on this internet and just say blatant lies. Y'all come up here and just lie y'all ass off. Right? The DOJ has had to go kicking and screaming to have any of these files released. And then y'all remembered all those marked out pages, right? All those redacted ass pages. Like, come on, guys. What are we doing? Healthcare is fine. We are building it. Bro, I need you to give yourself a software update. Even conservatives, your fellow conservatives will tell you healthcare ain't fine. Your fellow conservatives will tell you about the state of our federal highways right now. Bro, come on, dog. Come on, big dog. Special master, I had 2 choices. No way I was voting for Kamala. You want to go and vote for her anyway. Stop it. You want to vote for her. You want to go, let's be clear. Like, there wasn't going to be anything. Right? Again, you voted for a guy, Special, who was found liable for sexual assault. You chose him over a woman with a funny laugh. You was never going to choose Kamala. I'm tired of acting like there's going to be any way for you guys to act like you guys were actually going to swap your vote. No, you wasn't. Mud Butters, Trump released files that redacted his own name. Exactly, bro. All right, and let's be clear. Again, he didn't release the files, right? He wanted them files, all them shits, not released. Y'all hear what Marjorie Taylor Greene said? He called her talking about, yo, you're gonna hurt my friends, you're gonna hurt people I know, trying to get these files released. Conservatives, does that sound like a guy who wants the Epstein files released? Right? You come on, guys. Like, Mud Butter, like, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. Adam Palmer, we just can't vote for bad ideas and anti-American. Really? Because that's exactly what you did. Right now, we have a shit ton of bad ideas being implemented. And the dude has made every fucking country imaginable, it seems like, great again, except America. He's made Venezuela great again, or trying to. He's made Israel great again. He's made Argentina great again. My guy. What are we talking about, Adam? Come on, big dog. Tyrone, watch who's commenting on here. They a bunch of hillbillies. Man, you know what's crazy, Tyrone, is throughout my life experience, bro, it's crazy how there would be highly educated people who still fall for this bullshit too, bro. Like, Tyrone, like look up, and I also probably want to put this together one day too. But it really is a thing where it's like, dog, it'd be book smart people. I'm talking about people with really great backgrounds. And then you look at the politics, like, again, they're supporting, you're like, how? It don't make any sense. And so, bro, it really ain't hillbilly. It's across the demographics, bro. It's really crazy. Blazer One, the Epstein files have names of Americans on there and are not being prosecuted, and they need to be prosecuted. Let's be very clear, Blazer. I don't know if this is your shout out to you for rocking with us. I don't know if this is your first time joining me or not, but I don't give a shit what party or whose name or whose mama is in those files as far as the suspects and who allegedly did it. Prosecute their asses, investigate them, and if they did it, convict their asses, and let's get the wood chipper started. I don't care what team they play for. I don't care what country they play for, bro. Like, and Blazer, oh my God, I still can't believe last year we let that fucking, that one Israeli diplomat run back to Israel after he got charged uh, with like, I think things dealing with like child pornography and shit. Come, like we are not a serious country, man. Uh, Rumpelstiltskin, I like honest people. I do too, man. Uh, Mud Butters, January 6th was domestic terrorism. Absolutely. Aaron wants to let everybody know he's a clown. Appreciate it, dog. Heath Shellhammer, Tupac, Tyrone Hillbillies comedy. Aaron with the freaking with the emoji crash out. Shout out to you, big dog. Adam, that wasn't logical. Sure it was, bro. Sure it was. Blazer, if Trump pardons Ghislaine Maxwell, he went to Epstein Island. Why is she at minimum security camp for crimes against children? That's what's insane, man. By the way, the guy who cut that deal with her, audience, is our current acting attorneys general, Todd Blanche. Is that how you say his name, guys? Yeah. A woman who got tried and convicted for what a lot of people say she somehow was worse than Epstein. She got put into a minimum security camp despite her charges, the kind of charges she got, specifically saying she can't be moved to a facility like this. She's in the same facility as that one, was it Theranos or that one lady billionaire who did the fake blood testing thing or whatever and got caught with fraud. Right? Maxwell's in there with those white collar criminals. She ain't got no business being in there. But unless, of course, you think she's innocent and she was right? She was unfairly prosecuted. None of your business. The big, beautiful, golden obituary can't come soon enough. Agreed. Lynn Smith, conservative is all logic. Liberalism is fake sympathy. Wrong. Bio teach Trump America, U.S. first. America, us first. Stace. Hey guys, if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. Please let me know in the comments how you would prefer to be. I'm gonna say that's Stacia. Conservatism, the Republican Party is the right-wing party, and the Democratic Party is the moderate Republican. There is no left-wing or liberals. If I wanted to bring out the more global or international idea of the political spectrum, Stacia, you would be 100% correct. But if we keep it domestic, yeah, I think the Democrats are liberal. I think they're starting to inch a little bit more left. They definitely, I would say, solidly center, more to the center though. But you do have a point. You know what I mean? Just kind of working that out in my head right now. Trump America first. You mean Trump first? Yeah. No, you know what I mean? It's always going to be Trump first. Did you seriously vote for Kamala? Yes. Adam, I agree those files need to be released, kind of like Israel, my dude. Yeah, you mean Israel needs to be released? Yeah, man. Yo, I think, and this is just like direct funding, I think it's like $3 billion annually. That don't even include like equipment and shit like that. Stasia says, guys are fucking morons to squirt Donald Trump. He's the most corrupt president in history, and he's fucking over this country. Over this country, along with his many minions. Agreed. Agreed. Stasia, yeah, going hard in the paint, and 100% agreed. You know what I mean? But we're gonna see how if our fellow Americans actually show up on the midterms, right? Ain't got no choice now. Everybody's hurting, so anybody got no choice now. Biotech proved that he's covering up anything seriously. Again, Just look at the Epstein files, biotech. I mean, by the way, not only just the Epstein files, I'm so glad you wrote this. Y'all know that the DOJ wrote a memo saying that the government can't go after Trump or investigate Trump for anything dealing with taxes or any audits? Biotech. Why would anybody need a memo like that? Like seriously. Why would anybody need protection like that? Mind you, he already got granted immunity from the Supreme Court. Why would anybody need protection like that, biotech? Unless they was covering up something. Uh Adam, this is not true. Unfortunately, there was stuff said, and it don't even need Adam, you gotta remember it doesn't need to be said about the island because Epstein was always at Mar-a-Lago as well. And then remember, he got that one compound, I think in Arizona somewhere or some shit like that. So yeah, bro, it don't need to just be the island. You know, these guys got a whole network on this creepy. BMU has the cover up been proven. Yeah, we're watching the cover up live. Jackson, G. Obama said Biden could have done something. Could he have? Like done what? Are you talking about with Epstein? Like where can I write that to look that up? Show me something. Rumpelstiltskin, what about the Democrats that we should be impressed with? Again, the policies that we get passed benefit, or I don't want to say we, but the Democratic Party, the party I typically align with, they passed the policies again, like the Child Extended Tax Credit, the CHIPS Act, the Infrastructure Act, right? Yeah, the ACA, the Affordable Health Care Act, the Iranian nuclear deal. There's a whole bunch of different shit that we can be impressed with. But I guarantee you, if Trump had half of those things that I just mentioned, you'd be impressed. Stacia, Donald bankrupt 6 businesses, including casinos, and then the U.S. bank would not give him any loans. He had to get the money from Russia. His son, I think it was Eric, said as much in 28, said they get a lot of their funding from Russia overseas. Trump the GOAT, Trump 2028. Why y'all want this guy to run for a 3rd term? So you guys don't support the Constitution anymore, by the way? You see what I mean? Like this is crazy. God, you guys are coming with the comments. Jesus. We gotta get out of here soon, man. Deborah Rice, they aren't ever gonna go after the people whose names are in the files because there's too many involved and they don't want to arrest any of their buddies. And that's what sucks. That's what sucks, Deborah, because I have really had look, I know our country is not perfect, okay? I know we got a lot of fucked up shit. But it does, and I hope you can understand me that it really bothers me that it is really true that, yeah, our national security does require us to protect pedophiles. Deborah, I don't want to live in a fucking country whose national security is reliant on protecting the worst of the fucking worst. That sounds like a system that needs to be burned to the fucking ground. And Deborah, you know that pains me to say as a fucking combat vet who swore an oath to this Constitution, but it's like these guys are going out of their way to break everything. And I am just, it's just fucking with me, Deborah, that our national security, the thing that the thing that our the NSA and the CIA, all this other shit, all these coups we done started, all this horse shit, it comes down to us protecting fucking pedophiles. You see how hard in the paint we are going for sex offenders. We don't go this hard in the pain for war criminals, for people who sell weapons of mass destruction, right? For the people who deserve it the most, the pedophiles, we do the most protecting of. We go out of our way to protect. For God's sakes, Deborah, we're still having arguments across the country about age of consent. We got motherfuckers, elected officials right now, Deborah, voting against raising the age of consent and voting against ending child marriages. That's the world we live in, Deborah. I'm going to constantly be at a loss for words, Deborah, and audience, because again, like I tell y'all all the time, bro, I try my best to put it together and come to understandings and all of these other things. But this shit right here, again, it's not just this singular issue, but it's just, this one's the cherry on top of everything else going on. It just fucks with me. It literally bothers me. Right? Our country cannot function properly without protecting the worst of the fucking worst. Deborah, what am I supposed to do except smoke weed, play video games? On my free time, by the way, obviously I'm a husband, father, that's a responsibility. So on my free time when I got time, you know, what am I supposed to do except cope? Because there are so many people, Deborah, who are looking at that situation or looking at the reality that we are in right now, and they're perfectly fine with it. That's also the thing, Deborah, that I have a hard time wrapping my head around, is that we got so many of our fellow Americans who go, yeah, we should protect them. Hey, that's just the cost of business, of doing business. Hey, sometimes, you know, you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet. It just bothers me. It just bothers me. You know what I mean? Whew, gosh, y'all was going, y'all was sending a lot of comments, man. Oh, shit, Jesus Christ. A lot of you guys out here. Let's see. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the first Avenger. How sad it must be believing that scientists, scholars, economics, and journalists have devoted their lives to deceiving you, while a guy with a lifetime of fraud and lying is your beacon of truth. And you know, I'm not religious, first Avenger, but you remember when the conservatives was calling Obama the Antichrist? And yet, if anybody could really fit that description, it's probably the guy who was tweeting himself being the as a Lord and Savior. Nah, that can't be though, right? You know what I mean, we're probably tripping about that. Love thy neighbor. All the podcasters supporting the administration are being paid off. That's why all this has happened. Joe Rogan is clearly compromised too. The big time podcasters, most of them probably love thy. But as you know, we can't give everybody that excuse. As you know, love thy, there are plenty of people up here who aren't getting paid. They just up here supporting this man for the love of the game. They just up here supporting this shit because they really do support this. You know what I mean? Silly Geese says, I'm totally sure they do. You ooze with achievement. Dog, I don't, bro. Like fucking, like I told you, dog, I'm 100% combat PTSD veteran, bro. That's that's why I be up here yapping, dog. You know what I mean? Be on my 4 medications, you right. But you know what I also can claim? I am not a pedophile, and I'm not actively covering up the sex trafficking of pedophiles. So I'll absolutely take my mediocre ass over them fucking pedophiles. You can support them all you want, buddy. You go ahead and keep cheerleading their asses. Bro, silly geese, then fucking. Oh, you was talking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, making sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, guys, I need you guys to understand. Like, why not cheer? By the way, if you're gonna cheerlead a billionaire, why not Bezos? Guys, Bezos. I don't even like Bezos. At least he was in the fucking files. What about that other billionaire who's constantly on CNN or and CNBC doing the interviews and shit? Right? He ain't in the fucking files. Y'all guys we love billionaires in this country and worshiping their asses. You could at least pick one that's not in the Epstein files. We got plenty to choose from. Either man, how are you doing, sir?
How you doing today, sir? I seen you was yelling at the people in the chat. I said, let me come have a conversation with my guy. So,
What you got for me, bro?
I'm trying to understand. Like, I'm like trying to get back to the Democrat plantation. I've been trying to get back there, and it's so hard because when I hear you talk, it says like if you need insurance, you should be Democrat, right? That's what I hear, right? If you
Yeah.
need roads, it's almost like I have to be in a poverty state as a black man to need the Democrats. Like I don't worry about insurance. I'm not worrying about the roads. In fact, the HOA make us pay for our roads, so for the most part,
Yeah,
right? But
right, right. Right, yeah.
I get the overall picture of what you're saying, and I know this for a fact. We will not be Republican or Democrat for 20 years. We gonna go back
Mm.
and forth. We
Right, yeah,
gonna have
yeah.
we gonna have short term memory. People gonna hate Trump, then people gonna hate the next Democrat, and then we're gonna keep going back and forth. And what I'm realizing is, do you really believe that we got a choice on what's gonna happen in this country, or it's gonna be back and forth, and we should benefit off the Republicans when they're in office? Then remember, like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a business tied to food stamps when Democrats come back, because I'm telling you they're coming hard. Everybody and their mama gonna have them, so I need to find a way to get some of it. So is it as black men? Do you think that we really need to put so much inference in this kind of which side to pick when we really gonna have both sides anyways?
So either man, I really appreciate the questions. Um I don't know. I don't know. My biggest thing as far as black men go, either man, I know you and I have probably seen each other. We've been on panel a couple times, but we you know, we're in the same spaces. I think you remember me saying, or at least familiar with me saying, I just need my guys to at least show up first. At unfortunately, either man, we got one of we have the lowest voter turnout demographic, black men specifically, and so a lot of times I don't even. While I do care, mostly I just want you to show up and vote for whoever it is you support, right?
Well,
Um,
I
eh,
remember
eh, oh, go ahead.
just what you said. I remember I did this big push. I did this big push. I was like, black men, we need to get out here and vote. Our vote matter, this, that, and the third. And it was a 18-year-old kid. He said, it
Mm,
don't matter. If I was to get every black man to vote, it wouldn't change the decision that was made. Like we don't have enough power with our vote, with the missing votes. If every last one of them vote, Trump would have still say if every last one of them voted Democrat, Trump still would have been president. Like it really doesn't matter. Like I know it sounds bad. I know
mm,
our forefathers fought for us to have the right to vote. our vote really don't matter in this country. And both sides taught us that. They tell us that on an everyday basis.
So the reason why I'm going to push back is because I guess I fundamentally don't agree with that narrative, because when we vote as a collective. We vote that's supposed to basically, even though we vote as things that maybe we want to see in our community specifically, we still also vote as a collective with all of our Americans. You get what I mean? So we're 13% of the population, or 13 to 14%. I think yesterday we got it to 14.5, as a matter of fact. 14.5% of the population. Either, man, statistically, that means there's nowhere in America when it comes to a federal election that we can go that we don't need the collective's help.
No, no, no. So when you say 14, you include the women, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
say
And
14, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm just saying black men. So when we talk about black men, I think it last time I checked, I might be wrong on it was like 5 to 6%. 5% of
Right.
the men are men, right? That 5%, yes, locally. I do think that we should vote locally, right? I think that you can change the stuff that's happening in your city. We talk about the mayor, the governor, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
because but I'm just talking about on the federal level. Like I said, this 18-year-old, he's just like, y'all keep telling me my vote is this is how he explained it to me. He said it's almost like me downloading this casino app and I keep hitting the button and the saying I'm hitting the jackpot. It's not real money. And he keep
Yeah.
telling me, he said, from my perspective, my vote is not real. And so when he
Mm.
told me that, and I vote, listen, I gotta vote. Before my grandfather died, he said, "Hey, his great grandfather couldn't vote, so to honor to him, I'm going out and vote, regardless of what side I choose. I'm going to choose a side." But when
Yeah.
he really starts saying it really don't matter, it's almost like I don't know if you have. It's a video. I seen this video a long time ago. It's a story about the plantation, right? I don't know if you ever seen this. And what they would do in this video is they would bring different people to run the plantation. The rules never really change, right? But the plantation, everything stays the same. They just give you a different face to almost make you feel like you have power, right? I
Right,
know
right.
for a fact if every black man would have voted Democrat, Donald Trump still would have been the president. It was nothing we can do to stop that from happening. Now, I want to be clear,
Mm.
I'm not advocating for black men not to vote. That's not what I'm advocating for. But when I'm having these conversations, I'm sitting down across the table, breaking bread with these young men, it's like, man, I got to focus on something that really matters in my life. And voting is not it.
And so you're right. I want to be very clear here. You're right. I hope you understand a lot of the voting, a lot of I take the Constitution a little bit more seriously, veteran and all that. I think everybody should regardless, but I think you kind of get why I'm a little bit more biased that way. I think one of the biggest things, either, man, we have done with our community specifically as black men, we have done a disservice emphasizing the top heaviness of voting. I do think we overemphasize federal election and underemphasize the local election. And I think if we would have been doing that and start emphasizing that, then actually not trickle down, but builds up to, okay, now I see the importance of federal policy at the micro level, because now I'm looking at my state politics from the micro level. So one of the things we need our fellow, or we got to help get our black men to buy into, is that things like the midterms, which is still mostly local, right? That's important because all of us black men, our tax money goes to the schools and the roads, the bridges, the fucking data centers, the subsidies for the billionaires, stadiums and shit like that. And so our fellow black men need to understand that money's going to get spent some way. We need to show up the one time a year it comes around to let our voices heard about where we feel on this policy. And so I think unfortunately, either, man, I don't have the answer for the federal policy. I have to say I don't know. I just think it would be better if we started emphasizing more the local politics, and then hopefully from there we progress.
I'm on a whole nother tip. I'm gonna tell you, listen,
Okay.
I'm like, let's stop paying taxes, right? I know that sounds crazy, right? I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
listen. Like if you ever understand how a tax audit works, right? They audit the information you gave. If you didn't give them no information, they got no information to audit. But I don't want to dive into that because
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
that's a
get it.
whole nother thing,
Yeah.
right? But no, like instead of us complaining about where our money's going, just stop paying it. Like stop because in reality, this is what I tell people, right? I was looking at the budget. I think we got here in the state of Washington, we got $1.5 billion to fix the homeless problem. When I go down to Seattle, I see homeless people. So I just at this point don't trust. And I get we talk about roads, I don't trust that the government is gonna do what they're supposed to do with the money at all. So us having this illusion that the Democrats gonna spend the money right, us having this illusion that the Republicans gonna spend it right, I think it's just a lie.
So I want to be clear here. The Democratic Party I got issues with. It's just, at least from my lifetime, since I've been an adult since 2005, since I turned 18, and I'm 38 now. Um, I have seen way more tangible benefits from the Democrats as far as the collective of the country benefit than I've seen the Republicans.
I
Right?
think
Unfortunately, the stock market long term plays out that way. The GDP number plays out that way. The labor market number plays out that way. Clearly, our diplomatic relations plays out that way. Right. So there's a lot of aspects where that actually plays out. I mean, for God's sakes, we was told that manufacturing was dead, and yet manufacturing jumped under Biden thanks to those infrastructure bills and those CHIPS Act.
but what did those infrastructure bills come from? The
That
last
came from
Trump.
us. That
No,
came from us.
it came from the last Trump administration. That's what I'm saying. Like I promise you, I really think this, and I might be wrong for thinking this. I think they in cahoots with each other. Trump started something, Biden finished it. Biden started certain things, Trump finished it. Listen, I get out in the media. Like my brother sent me this thing. It was Obama and Trump laughing. They was somewhere and they was
Yeah.
laughing and joking. It was a video of them. And I'm just telling people, it's like, I think regardless of who to face, the mission of the country gonna go on regardless. I think we had
I
to put Trump because this was the phase that America was in. People think I don't think we
what
had that choice.
what's crazy is, Eden, man, I agree with you on Trump's first term. I think everybody was buddy buddy because, as you know, before this, Trump donated to both parties.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We talk about elected officials being puppets. Well, he was one of the puppet masters, right? Because he's donating to both parties. I think it's a lot different this semester because I know you're in the business. I hear you talk about that. You've seen how many old wealthy white people he done pissed off because he done messed with their money the wrong way.
Yeah.
He didn't do that his first term.
Yeah, no, because this is last term. Listen. When you on your way for retirement, you can say empty on your way out. Listen, that's definitely true, right? But no, what I'm saying is that one thing I do like about Trump, we never seen this before. What we're seeing right now, we have never seen it before. Whether you like it, whether you don't, like they say what we getting in on tariffs. Like I want to see how this ends because I'm hearing is the IRS is closed. I'm hearing that like certain infrastructures are completely gone. He done gutted most of it. And then I have to meet, I'm a veteran too.
Mhm.
And when I go to my local base, it's a different energy on that base. When I go to the Air Force wasn't doing group PT. They was doing their own PT. Guess what? Now that we the Department of War, they working out like they are military now as a group. So it's a lot of things we can point at that I can truthfully say I don't like, but I can feel the energy difference in there. Like I can feel that Pete done did something different in that military, regardless if we feel he's qualified, regardless, I'm telling you that And it might be that we on the brink of a war. But I am telling you, it's a different energy going on.
E respectfully, we are at war.
We ain't in
And
no
most
damn
of the
war.
and most of the military are clearly not liking Pete Hegseth.
Well, yeah, because he shook it up. I was talking to this guy from the Air Force. He said, I was able to do what I wanted to do. I didn't have to work out with my unit. I wouldn't like it either. If we was in there and they told us that we was doing what we want to and now it's structure, I would have problems with that as a lower enlisted. Because you took away my freedoms to just do what I want to do.
But we in the military, we don't have freedoms like that.
But no, that's what I'm saying is from the perspective that I'm saying is. So I said, what did he do? Because I have military people that's active on active
Yeah.
duty right now. And I asked him, I said, what did he do that you did not like? And what they said is, well, he made us, well, we had to work out, I'm Army. Mandatory workouts was a thing. That we weren't
Yeah.
getting around that. That was normal, right? But they said, now we got to work out with our unit. Now we got to do our job. And I'm saying, you mad because he holding a standard? I don't hear people saying in the military, just the people, let's say this anecdotal, they mad
Mm.
because he did something that's illegal.
Yeah, so I think the thing with Pete Hegseth is more. So your Army, so I think you understand this, especially because you had an ACAP like all of us had to do when we got out. Even though it's tough calling it DEI, even though it is, you understand and you empathize with, hey man, let's give the veterans a shot. We know he might not have the traditional background or whatever, but yo, he got this years in the career. Let's give him a shot. Dog, not even a month into it, we get Signalgate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not even a couple of months. You already fired. Not even you're firing generals, and then you're withholding promotions.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then you're pissed off at the generals who are defending the people who should get promoted. Right, and then I think the biggest atrocity in E, you got to understand, this is the big one, man. Pete Hegseth is leading the way. Him and this new pastor he keeps bringing around. He's used biblical texts to justify this war against Iran. E, are you really surprised that some of the Middle Easterns think they're in a holy war with the United States when
No, no.
the Secretary of War is using biblical texts to justify bloodshed in their country?
Well, no. Listen. Let's be clear, right? We ain't in this because it's a biblical thing. We in it because I like to give this example, right? You got cousin. What's your
Yeah,
cousin name? What's your cousin?
AJ.
AJ.
Yeah,
AJ fighting around the corner, and he come and tell you he fighting. You going around the corner?
no.
I'm going around the corner. I'm like, listen, hey, my cousin come to my house. Listen, I know you different. My cousin come around that corner and say, I'm in a fight. They jumping me. Hey, are you riding for your cousin or not?
Oh,
I'm
you mean
riding.
that kind of fight? Yes, yes,
I'm
yes,
talking about I'm talking
yes.
about the physical fight.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we gonna ride for our allies. Like everybody want to make this about biblical. Everybody want to make this about. Listen, Israel is our allies, and they I believe they will always be our
I,
allies as long as we're a country.
E, just because you're family don't mean you got to condone every action your family does.
I disagree.
Sometimes your family does some real stupid shit and needs to be told about themselves.
Nah, I disagree. When it
Yes.
come down to fighting, listen, listen, I'm gonna chastise. Listen, this is how I felt. Me and my cousin go to the club. My cousin is wrong. We fighting at the club. Now we get back in the car. I'm like, you know, you shouldn't have did that stupid stuff over there at the club. Out here embarrassing me, making me look bad. I'm gonna chastise you, but while we in the fight, I'm fighting. I'm just saying how I was set up in Georgia. In Georgia, this is how I look at it. And I think that from a bigger country point of view, it's not really about no holy war and all that stuff. What it's about is everybody want to say the small hats run America. And then we know Israel, these people are family. And what family do is when family back get against the wall, they protect each other. Nothing bigger than that.
So again, and by the way, on this platform, we're grown. I think we're grown. We know how to say the word Jew without being disrespectful. You know how other people like saying that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're good. And plus, we like criticizing the Israeli government up here, E.
I
You know
got you.
what I mean? Uh E, our allies is wrong. I supported them going, getting rid of Hamas and everything October 7th until they started intentionally targeting non-Hamas targets. And
Well,
then they didn't, hold up, and then they didn't stop there. Right now, Israel is currently bombing 8 different countries.
I got you.
They openly talk about Greater Israel Project. And now, not only has their ex-prime minister, but current Israeli officials are now talking about how Turkey is going to be their new Iran. And Turkey is a NATO ally.
I got you.
They are causing nonstop disruption in the region, and we are getting dragged behind that. Marco Rubio literally stated, on live television, on camera, I covered this. He literally stated that the reason we attacked Iran was because Israel said they were attacking Iran no matter what we said. And he knew, and they knew, because they would retaliate by attacking us. So America decided to strike first.
Okay. But I want to make sure I understand, right? We understand that Israel did not throw this first blow. Can you at least concede to that, or you disagree with that?
I disagree because this is a different conflict.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like I
You
so
think
this,
Gaza and this is like related?
yes, I think all of this is related.
Okay, I'll take that perspective.
Yeah, like what I'm saying is that you can't punch me in the face and then get mad how I respond. Now, what I hear what you saying, brother. You punch me in the face. I punch you, your cousin, and your mama in your face. You say I'm wrong. Why did you Why did you respond with that level of brutal force? Your problem was with me. But I'm telling you, they're in bed a lot. Just I'm talking about from my military experience. I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
they're more in bed than what you think they. It's not like United States and Cuba. It's not that. I'm telling you, these people are in bed with each other, and for us to paint that they're
Yeah.
not in bed with each other, I
Well,
think it's
no,
just
but that's the problem. They are in bed with each other. Like that is the biggest problem. Like, again, we're the United States of America. We should be able to tell a country we're literally funding no. If you
yeah.
want to go, if they want to go fight, which I don't support, but if they want to go fight, go fight. Why do we have to do that?
Because
Why
your
did we
cousin,
have?
I'm about to tell you, your cousin agreed with it. See, no, you talking about what we think. The reason America, the people who's running America, they believe that Israel was right. That's what I'm saying is their cousins believe. We as people might say, hey, you know what? We don't believe that that was right. But the people that's in charge believe it was right. And they are the people that matter in this country when it comes down making these decisions. Me and you can't determine if we go to war or not. We're literally. Oh, a guy gave me a analogy. He said it's almost like you're trying to call plays on the football game and you in the bleachers. We in the bleachers. What we think really don't matter. The coach, the people in the game thought that this was the play that they needed to run. And regardless if we agree with it or not, when you say we, the people in charge believe it was the right decision.
Yeah, and again, they could think it's the right decision. It doesn't change the fact that it was still the wrong decision. It's still turned into the wrong decision. It's still a disaster of a decision. And it still doesn't change the fact that, yes, in this country, when we vote federally, we don't vote for policy by policy. We vote for the representative, or again, the president. But for this specific issue, I wasn't going to vote for somebody who tried to start beef with Iran in his first term when he ripped up the Iranian nuclear agreement. This
Well,
guy had already made it clear he was trying to start anything with this country. So,
absolutely.
yeah, one of the reasons to not vote for him is to not enable him to do shit like this.
Yeah, I get it. Listen, I get anytime somebody justify the reason they didn't vote for Donald Trump, I say you're valid. That was your vote to cast, and you had the right to be able to make a rational decision who you thought was the best person. But as a collective, we said we wanted Donald Trump to represent us. As a collective,
And to your point, for all the people who didn't show up and vote, you let everybody who did make the decision for you.
that's a fact. So
Yep.
as a collective, listen, that's what I'm saying. We knew who Trump was. See, the first time I can say this, maybe people was ignorant of who Trump was. But you can't tell me America didn't know who Trump was this second term. They knew, and as a collective, this is what we wanted. We wanted war with Iran. We wanted all of these things because we knew that he was willing to do this. Nobody said Trump ain't trying to go to war. That wasn't the conversations I was hearing. They said, hey, he's going to go figure it out. You know what people can hold Trump accountable for? His words. Why is it not over? So I don't hold him accountable for
E,
going to war.
hold up, 2024, he campaigned on no new wars, remember?
Mm-hmm.
He told everybody
Mm-hmm.
no new wars, and they believed him.
Well, I knew he was going to war. Hey, listen, I know a person that like fighting. Listen, I worked at the club. Like people say, I ain't gonna fight. Two shots
Yeah,
in. I'm not stupid. Like that's the point. Is like all these politicians lie. They gonna tell you what they want to hear. I knew for a fact if Trump got back in charge, it was gonna be something going on in the war. I knew it. Like, and let me tell you this right here. This is my honest belief. If what's her name? Camera
Kamala.
Kamala. Kamala would have gotten in charge, we still would have seen new wars. I don't think neither one of them could have stopped these wars from happening. Matter of fact,
I
we saw, we
100%
saw,
disagree.
we saw new wars happening the last 4 years. We've seen at least three of them.
Yeah, look, that's not saying no conflict is possible. But remember, we just talked about a conflict that we didn't start. And to be fair, at least from your perspective, from the original date, and I agree from that perspective, Israel didn't start the conflict either, right? Hamas did,
Mm-hmm.
right? Ukraine didn't, United States didn't start the conflict, Russia did.
Mm-hmm.
We, unprovoked, America, started a conflict by bombing Iran in the summer of last year for over their nuclear facilities.
What did you say
Hold
that
on, hold
was
on, hold on,
really
hold on,
good?
hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Hold on. Trump literally said, completely obliterated their nuclear facilities, completely obliterated, completely destroyed.
Yeah.
8 months later, we launched a war in Iran, partly because of their nuclear facility.
Well, no, we launched a war. That's what I'm saying. I get what they was reported. We launched a war because what you said that Donald Trump got insight that they was going to attack us. So he said he wanted to hit first. I think everybody knew that. Everybody knew we was going to back Israel. Everybody knew. Listen, this wasn't. We've been doing the
Why?
same. Hello, we have did the same playbook for the last 2 years. You know we done back Israel for the last 100 years. That's a fact. Everybody knew we was gonna do it. So since you already know, listen, I don't know. I play football. You know, we coming through the two gap. Everybody know we coming. So I might as well blow it up. Like you know where I'm going. You know the plan that we gonna run. So that's what I'm saying. It's like we knew we was gonna support them. And guess what? This is what my mama always taught me. She said, if you go be in the fight, make sure you throw the first punch. And so I have a different reality because this almost feel like my life, right? My life
Go.
is my mama told us, hey, y'all left here together, y'all better come home together. That's what my mama taught me growing up. Hey, check this out. You know the intensity there. Don't let that man hit you first. You better get yours in first. So him being on the offense versus the defense, I just think that's who Trump is. He's an offensive player. Now, would it look
But
better if he played defense? If we let Iran attack us first and then we responded to it?
but that's the thing. But isn't that the better play? But that's the reality. They wasn't going to attack us.
Oh no, we don't know. It's all. But you
They not.
said
You think Iran's attacking mainland America?
no, not mainland. But I think they had access to attack our allies, and our allies is us. You
They
like?
launched. Respectfully,
Yes, sir.
Iran launched attacks against us and our allies in defense in retaliation after we launched the attack.
I got that. But earlier in your dialogue, you said that Trump felt that he was going to be attacked by Iran. So
Yep.
he played offense. I would never hold someone accountable for an offense and say that you're supposed to be in the defensive position. It's just not, it's not good to let somebody hit you first, bro.
Bro, I absolutely disagree with that framing simply because the only way your thing makes your analogy makes any sense if he wasn't a threat of getting hit. He wasn't,
Well, we don't know.
right?
Because like me,
He
both us military.
like the guy was in a fight with a one-on-one fight with somebody else, and we came in from the circle
Yep.
and hit them. That's
I
what we
like
did.
that. I like that.
Oh my
That's called
God. Come on,
loyalty.
E.
That's
Oh
called
my God,
loyalty.
E.
Listen, listen. Hey, listen. My homeboy, he in a one-on-one fight. He getting a dude beating him up. He getting the best. I'm jumping in. I know it's not good. I know it might not be the honorable thing to do. But hey, you better lose the fight. You fight one of my friends one-on-one. I'm jumping in.
Well, okay, so then I'll entertain this perspective, and then I could still hit you with this. Let's say, okay, fuck it, bro. We just gonna get wild, bro. He half-assed it.
I agree. From a military perspective, he half-assed it.
You see
Absolutely.
what I mean? And so, and E, that's also the thing. Is like, as you know, even if like you mentioned, hey man, these guys felt they was gonna do it, so they was gonna do it regardless of what people said, what the
Mhm.
civilians said. Okay, cool. If you're going to make the goddamn decision, you better go all in.
I agree.
You better not half-ass it, or half-ass it not only prolongs the conflict, it gets unnecessary. It amounts to unnecessary bloodshed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did, E.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's one point I have to concede. I didn't like that he decided to throw a jab instead of a haymaker. Because that's what it was. It was like, hey, you got the element of surprise. If you gonna
Yeah.
steal off on somebody, you need to try to put him to sleep. I 100% agree with that. I do wish that he would have calculated that attack a little bit better. Because and then I don't like his press run. Oh, we took out all the missiles and then we seen Dubai get attacked after all the missiles supposed to be gone, right? Uh, I think Nvidian had a lot to do with the negotiation tactics because we couldn't get Nvidian could not get any chips through that
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
Yeah, so
You're the
I
straight of
think
Hormuz. Yep.
yeah, so I think a lot of money got involved, like a lot of big wigs. Like, hey, now you messing up. You know that was the number one stock. Like now you talk about a stock market effect. I don't like how it does, and I wish he would have hit the haymaker, and it really would have been over in 7 days or 24 hours. Because I think we would have a different take if we weren't still talking about it
Yeah.
today.
And so, and this is my problem with, again, we got to be able to analyze, again, the president. He's supposed to represent the best of us. And as we know, maybe domestic policy, as you know, is more about Congress. Foreign policy, that's all executive branch, though.
Yeah, I got
I
you.
mean, for God's sakes, E, we kidnapped the leader of Venezuela and left his regime in charge.
Mm-hmm.
We bombed the Iranian regime only for his son to still be in charge, and we killed his entire family, and now he's really got reason to hate us.
But Venezuela was perfectly executed.
No.
Yes, it was. Oh my! See, so
You
from a
didn't get
military,
rid of the leadership structure. The leadership power structure still exists.
we're definitely the puppet master over there. If you don't think that we're the puppet master in Venezuela, I'm telling you, you missed it. You missed
No,
that
no,
whole
no. I know.
play.
I think, do we got control now? Yes, but I still say we botched it because, again, if you're going to kidnap the world leader, you're doing a regime change, right?
No,
And so if you're going to, yes, because
no.
guess
Let me
what
tell you why.
happened?
Let me tell you
The
no.
regime change is still in charge. And then they went and started hunting American civilians and other civilians as well. Like, what I mean, looking for revenge and shit. And by the way, guess what? A lot of the oil companies, I'm sure you see the news, they still don't want to touch Venezuela like that because it's still an unstable country.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. No, no, no. What I'm saying, well, that was a bigger play, right? So it wasn't that we wanted the oil. We just didn't want nobody else to have it. Yeah, like it was this song growing up.
They ended up getting it anyway. There was a
Ooh, the
couple tankers
Chinese?
that got to China and Russia. Yeah.
No, 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 not really. So, well, they had
Yeah,
They had
really.
no, because no, they had to go through America. They did.
But
The
they still go.
negotiations went.
But remember, Trump's own mouth was they wasn't supposed to get it at all.
Well, no, no. He
Just
said that
like
if you
Cuba,
want
just
it,
like go
no.
ahead, go
This
ahead.
is this is what he said. He said if you want the oil, you have to come negotiate through me. That's what he said. So if you still got the oil and I got a little bit from the deal, I become the middleman. I'm okay with you getting it.
So I guess we're gonna have to disagree on that because there's
I
definitely
got you. I
sanctioned
got you.
oil tankers that got through. There's
Yeah, I
also
got you.
the Russian tanker that wasn't supposed to make it to Cuba that got through.
Well, you know Russia.
We see now all the tankers, by the way, and I think you had to agree with the whole Strait of Hormuz thing. Now, not only does Iran have full control of something that used to be free, now that's strengthened the whole BRICS alliance because now a lot of those tankers were having to pay Iranians through how do you say the Chinese yuan?
Yeah, the one.
Yuan, right? And by the way, China's still getting their oil, and we just strengthened Russia.
Okay. Well, no, Russia. So let me ask this question: do you think
Yeah.
that Trump have something to do with Russia? Do you think Russia and Trump is? I wouldn't say allies, but they. I don't know. They're not homies, but they affiliate. Let me say that.
I'm I'm going to I'm going to be careful,
Okay.
and I'm just going to say I'll stay with affiliate.
Affiliate.
I'm going to say this though that's really easy. Trump definitely has way too much admiration for Vladimir Putin.
Well, no, I'm just saying. So when you tell me like they do something, I it's like you're not my enemy. Putin is not Trump enemy.
No. Trump isn't Putin's enemy. Putin
And
is enemies of the United States. You see, it doesn't.
no,
You got to realize for guys like Putin, it doesn't matter who the head is. Doesn't matter who the head of state is at the time, right?
well,
He
because
hates us,
he gonna outlive them all. Because he ain't going
right?
nowhere.
You're talking about a guy who likes to compare himself to Russian czars in that era, who whines about the Soviet Union collapsing. Right? We're talking about a former KGB officer. There's nothing about America he's going to want to ally himself with. You get what I mean?
I get that, but what I'm trying to understand is, I want to hear your honest take. Like, I know everybody watching. This is me and you just talking. You
Yeah.
really believe that we would have been in a better position with Cam Cam?
Yes.
How? Like, walk me through that. Like, what decisions you felt that she would have made better than Trump?
First and foremost, we're not into an unprovoked war with Iran. And I want to be clear here. I still think we're botched the whole situation, just like Biden did with even supporting, I guess, more of like the Palestinian aspect, the overboard, if because that's just completely out of line. Kamala would have unfortunately continued that horseshit, but we would not have been in a conflict in Iran.
So hold
We
on. Let's stop
wanted,
there. Hold on. Let's
yeah, yeah,
let's do point by point. So
okay.
I believe we was on the break of making Israel our enemy in the last administration by how the administration was supporting Palestine. It was almost like we was turning our back on an ally. Do you agree with that before you move on, or you disagree?
I agree that's how it was being framed, but I disagree that that's what it was. They was not being turned. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons Kamala lost was because the Democratic establishment was too buddy buddy with Israel. Biden kept funding Israel despite the fact that they was targeting non-Hamas, terrorists and things like that.
And then if we just talking about from a war, I think that Russia hated us more in our last term than they hate us now.
Right. So you got to understand. So I think you understand though. For example, you're always going to hate Russia is always going to hate somebody like Obama and Hillary. They support NATO. They support strengthening NATO. Right. Of course you're going to like somebody like Trump who's always trashing your biggest ops. Right? Of course you're going to like and be less problematic with the country who's right self-inflicting wounds. Why would you escalate problems with a country who's ruining their own partnerships with allies with a global tariff war that we're losing? We're losing so bad, that China, South Korea, and Japan, 3 countries, the triad of countries who fucking hate each other, decided to come together and get together for a trade deal to combat U.S. tariffs.
So
That's how bad we botched it.
So I just want to make sure I understand. Do you believe that the tariffs are a net positive?
It's a net negative. The tariff, that the whole global, we're losing that. It's a net. We pay the tariffs, That comes out of our pocket.
No, listen. I'm saying now we're talking about the USA, the actual
Yeah.
country. You believe that the country is at a net negative on funds right now?
We're $40 trillion in debt.
Okay.
I think a couple of weeks ago, I think our debt finally exceeded our GDP growth.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
And then on top of that, the global trade war has helped with this increase in inflation. And again, we're losing. And so any of the trade deficits got cleared with us paying more at the checkout line.
No, it's not. And this is why I don't understand. Like, if we go to facts, right? It is proven that inflation was higher under Joe Biden than Donald Trump. Inflation was at 9.1%. The current inflation is 4%. I know for a fact, I literally did this. I went to go look at a receipt. I keep all my receipts. I'm cheap. I keep all my receipts. I went to go look at eggs under Joe Biden. I'm just letting you know. Eggs was $6. I'm gonna say it again because we have short-term memory. I promise you we do. We was paying $6 for eggs. And now we say, hey, now that we're paying $2.50, we say, hey man, inflation's at an all-time high. And then I can go to steak. Hold on. I can go to steak. I can go to bread. I can go to rice. I can show you each one of these items and tell you that our groceries are cheaper if I take them all.
You cannot go to the meat section and say that it's cheaper.
Yes, I can.
You cannot go. No, you can't, because hell, the lean beef is up 20% by itself year to year.
No, well, no,
Respectfully, this is insane. Like it peaked
I'm gonna
under
pull it up right
Biden
now.
because we was in a post-COVID era at 9%. And then again, the crazy man in Russia started a freaking war, right? And so it peaked. But then if you look at the chart, the numbers, the inflation rate was going down and then it started going up once Donald Trump started his trade war. What's crazy, E, is that if Donald Trump didn't start this global trade war, inflation probably still would have been
But you,
coming down. And then even my Democratic liberal ass would have just been like, well, you know, maybe Biden would have been credit. Guess what? Trump would be getting credit for that.
no, that's the point that I'm saying
But
is y'all.
but no, E.
You
But guess
speaking
what,
on
bro?
theory.
Across
You just
E.
gave a theory. You said
No, E.
I believe it's not a fact that
Go
it
ahead.
was gonna come down. That's not a fact. That's what I'm saying. So
The chart, the inflation rate was coming down. And guess what? Under the first few months of Trump, the
it
inflation
came
rate.
down.
Yes, that's what I literally said. It continued to go down until he started what? The global trade war. I just said that, E.
Hold on.
I said when Trump got back into office, the inflation rate continued going down until he started the global trade war. If he didn't start that global trade war, inflation would have still been coming down.
So I'm just telling you, I have studied this. It have a floor. This is what we don't talk about in economics.
Oh.
We think that, hey, you know what? If we wouldn't have did nothing, you know what? Bread would have went back to 99 cents. No, it's a floor. Listen, we was at the floor. We
Hey,
was
you know
on.
what's crazy? You know what's
Okay, go
crazy
ahead.
about if we would have had done nothing, E? And I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's just crazy because Trump also did this too. All Trump had to do was not get in the way, and TikTok wouldn't be a thing, would it? All Trump had to do was just let it go, and TikTok would be closed as the whole Chinese propaganda spy tool, right? But Trump decided to intervene and keep TikTok alive.
I have no problem with TikTok going along. Listen, y'all can say they spy, like we all choose to click on the app. We agree to the terms of TikTok. All right, hold on.
The correlation is if Trump would have done nothing, TikTok would have been gone.
But I don't want TikTok to go away.
But the majority did because the majority included. Guess what? And by the way, it was the majority. And by the way, also the majority on his side. You remember Republicans and censorship and Chinese spyware and propaganda. The majority of Republicans also wanted TikTok to go away. And so all Trump had to do was do nothing. And Trump, dog, don't you remember that, E? All the goodbye videos people was making for TikTok. Oh, goodbye. Now we gotta find another social media app. But Trump just couldn't fucking help himself, could he, E?
I'm telling you, I think TikTok currently got 150 million users. Listen, America didn't want TikTok to go away. We can say what we want to say. You can say it was 10 people in the Capitol that wanted. We didn't want TikTok to go away.
But the point was, Trump could have done nothing, and we would have been better off.
No, I'm happy he said TikTok.
Respectfully,
I'm happy
big picture.
Even though we kind of got away from the groceries, you jumped over to TikTok.
No. Because I'm so I'm actually trying to help you out with the groceries. Because if we go back to the groceries again, I'm gonna school you, bro. Because the majority of the grocery categories are up, not down.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. If we go to 9, I'm just telling you, 9% to 3% is basic math. Listen, you can look it up, brother. If you look at it as a whole, the groceries are cheaper. If you look at what a average cart was, what average people was buying, if you're buying those same things, it's cheaper. One thing, now what you can say is gas is more expensive. Gas is more expensive.
Well, yeah, it's on top of that.
No, we can't. We can definitely say that gas. Look it up. There we go. Pull it up.
Yes, grocery prices have generally increased since President Trump took office, while a few select staples like eggs have declined from their previous peak. the overall cost of the average American's grocery basket is higher today than when he was sworn in. Overall trend. The overall cost of food at home has risen. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported a 2.9% year over year increase. Biggest increases. Items heavily dependent on import or subject to tariffs and supply constraints have surged. Coffee prices are up significantly, 18% to over 20%, and beef remains near record highs, increasing roughly 14 to 22%. So again, there's
Hold on, no. Let's talk about this, right? We
yeah.
knew for a fact that if Trump did nothing, right? This is what our past tell us, that it was going to increase by 2.9. Do you agree with that? Do, do, do you agree that this what that said? They said year over year that it's going to increase 2.9 regardless. That is the normal
No,
inflation.
it did not. It
Well,
That's
so
not okay.
hold
Respectfully,
on, hold on.
the cost of living, the inflation rate that you're talking about, right? You got to separate the overall cost of living because right now we're talking specifically about just the groceries,
No, I get that.
right? Because the
Hold
overall
on.
cost of living is going to include other things than the
No,
groceries.
hold on. We know, like, okay, I worked at a grocery store, and I'm telling you, year over year, the groceries typically get expensive. Yes or no?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. The point that I am saying, first, let's say we take this as facts, right? This is what we learn. It says the imports, right? The imports are more expensive. Let me ask you a question. Do I have the option to buy American products?
Depending on where you live.
Ah, okay, hold on. So if I go to my local this is what I saw, right? If I wanted rice from China, it's more expensive. But I have the right to buy American products because we buy American products, right? And what I
E-
have saw, hold on. No, let me go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm listening. I'm
The
listening.
point that
You're
I'm
good.
telling you is most people needed to make a change, and a lot of Americans did. What they did is they said, hey, I truthfully and honestly want to buy American first products. And those things don't have what? Tears. So guess what? I get you. We want to paint this literally this picture that hey, what we need to do is buy something that is foreign. What he did is he said, hey, let's start buying American products. And what I'm buying American products, now these are still at the same price. Roughly, if you can look this up, American products are still at the same price. Guess what happened? We help local American businesses.
Bro,
How's
we
that? How
literally
that's
just
not
got the
good for
chart up.
Americans?
We literally got the chart up saying that the prices aren't the same. They keep increasing. And then on top of that, did you forget that Trump had to import? Now, part of this was just I think it was due to maybe like a flu or some shit, but you forget that Trump had to imported a bunch of cattle from like Argentina or some shit to help with the cost of beef inflation. Like
Okay.
that's how bad the prices are, bro.
Well,
And again,
no.
remember
No, because
your
Frito,
original argument. Hold up, E.
it is lower.
E. Your original argument was, "I'll show you the price of eggs," and I literally told you the vast majority of groceries collectively is up, and we literally got it up saying as such, right? So just because a select few items went down doesn't negate that the vast majority of items that we buy go up. And now I got to ask you question, E.
Go
Where
ahead.
exactly are Americans supposed to buy American coffee at?
You said that we don't produce American coffee? Starbucks
Do
don't
we?
sell.
They
Look
sell
it up.
coffee.
They don't sell
Yeah.
American made coffee? Oh, look at where American coffee. There's a whole bunch of it.
Yeah. E.
What did it say? Is it American coffee? I can't see the screen.
E. I'm going to read it. The U.S. sells plenty of American style coffee, but over 99% of the beans themselves are imported from equatorial countries like Brazil and Colombia. Because coffee trees require tropical climates, The U.S. only grows a tiny fraction of its own coffee, primary in Hawaii and Puerto Rico. That has no way in hell possible
Hold on,
to
hold on, hold on, hold on.
sustain.
Hold on. So if I'm not mistaken, we have zero tariffs with what company on what countries?
We
Colombia
don't
and
have.
who? We hold on. So
We
hold
don't
on.
have. We have tariffs on color. What are you
No,
talking about?
hold on. Let me pull it up.
Yes, we
Let me
got
pull
tariffs.
my stream
Oh my
because you got
God,
AI. You
E.
try to do the AI.
E, come on, dog. Where'd you go, bro? Hey, you still there? Oh shit. Okay, yeah, you were searching.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still here. When I switched to my other stream, it took my
Oh,
camera
okay,
off. Just give
yeah.
me 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Uh, yeah. Do your guys. You know what? You know what's crazy, guys? I feel dumb because I thought it was like 80% beans. I thought we actually grew more than that. Like I feel bad for getting, or I feel stupid for. I damn 99. That's 100%, guys. Let's be clear. That's everything. All right. That 1% is some white dude with fucking dreads in like Washington State. Y'all know who I'm talking about. All right, his greenhouse setup is a little bit too fucking too pro consumer, if you know what I mean. 99%. Again, guys, that was the correlation. All Trump had to do was leave TikTok alone. TikTok would be out of here. And look, I want to be clear, just like E, like I I didn't care much about TikTok. I know my daughters use it, my wife uses it, you know what I mean? I use it now. I really didn't care either way. But again, remember, when TikTok was going under, this was at the height of conservatives talking about uh being silenced, right? Being censored. TikTok was the main one, or one of the ones, just like Twitter, doing the censoring. The Chinese spy app. Oh, China's spying on our data, despite the fact that Americans just be selling our data left and right. Breach after breach. This shit don't fucking matter either. Right? All Trump had to do was just leave it alone. Nope, couldn't. And it's still here. Same thing with the inflation rate. Shit was starting to level out. It was under 3% by the time Biden got out of office. Under Trump, I think it was until April, by the way, from February to April, the inflation rate was continuing to go down. And of course, we know Trump was taking credit for that. But you know what? We let him until, guess what? What was it? Liberation Day? Is that what they called it? E?
Yeah, you can hear
Oh,
me, right? You
yeah,
still can hear
yeah,
me?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Liberation Day, right?
So let me read this. Yeah,
Go
keep
ahead, man.
going. Yep.
Yeah, so Liberation Day, guys. And then all of a sudden, the rates started going back up. And then all of a sudden, right? One of Trump's favorite pinatas, the Fed chair, what's his face? Jerome Powell. Oh, this guy sucks. This is the worst fucking Fed chair ever. You appointed him? Right? All this fucking shit, bro. Like, but go ahead, E. What you got for us, dog?
All right, so I wanted to fact check what you were saying. So basically, the first thing you said is that before Biden left office, that we got back down to 3%. You think that was a fact?
Yeah, the inflation rate was trending down.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. What you
I think it
just
was down to
said.
no, specifically the 3%. Yeah, I think it was down to like 3% or lower.
No, it wasn't. So when
What
he
was it?
left, hello. So I just looked it up. So the highest it got was 22% under Biden, and it got down to 9%. Look it up. I want you to look. I want you to fact check. I was like, he over here just pulling up this AI like it's real. I need to make sure we check it, right? So the highest under Biden was 22%, right? No complaints from the Democrats. Everything was good. What was his excuse, right? And then we seen a downward trend. This is what we seen. A downward trend. Once that downward trend started happening, we went into war, which is true, and it went up a little bit. It never got back to the 22%. So what people would ask this question is, did war cause an inflation? Absolutely. Never, ever.
E. Yo, what the hell? Where'd he go? BMU, what did you do, dog? Yo, E, come. BMU, what the heck? Oh. Anyway, guys, this was what I was trying to show E. This is why I was looking crazy, guys, because yeah, when Biden left office in January 2025, the annual inflation rate was 3% for the preceding 12 months. While this was a significant decline from the 4-decade high of 9.1 in June 2022, it remained higher than the 1.4 to 1.7 range recorded. You see, guys, this is why it's so hard sometimes to have these conversations. Okay, baby, then maybe he probably dropped outside. I know he was having a little bit of connection issues. This is why I be fact checking y'all, bro. Because every single time I do a fact check, the numbers ain't what y'all tell me. By the way, somebody in the chat, shout out to y'all. I know I haven't, we was having a conversation. I see y'all up in there. I know somebody else had mentioned the fact that the inflation rate had dropped to like 3%. And again, guys, we got verifiable proof. And again, we know the numbers were dropping. All right. So, Mike, no, you didn't get me on that one. Guys, oh man, like, we got to be able to tell the truth, guys. We got to be able to like believe what we see with our eyes and ears. Okay. Y'all know when y'all go to the gas pump, prices ain't come down. Y'all know when you went to the grocery store, prices ain't come down. Y'all know when y'all went shopping for your kids and these expensive ass clothes, prices ain't gone down. The only way you believe that prices went down is if you also took Trump at his word when he said affordability is a word made up by the Democrats. I remember that. Affordability is a hoax. That's the only way you can come up here with a straight face and be like, yeah, affordability is down. So and what's sad is, like, I love E. Remember, E came up here talking about he did it, he won a Trump supporter and spent all this time defending Trump. But it's cool. Maybe he was playing devil advocate, but I love E, man. He's like legit out here, bro. Like in real life, he really is that dude, man. And so I like chopping it up with him. But guys, we got to wake up, man. Okay? I know y'all are sick and tired of dodging that fucking pothole in the highway that ain't been fixed in years. some of y'all, now this ain't on Trump. This is just more about our dysfunctional government. Some of y'all, like me, drive by road projects that been going on since we was teenagers. 20 years and they still got the same traffic fucking cones sitting there. But it's a sign that everything, unfortunately, again, I want to be clear here. None of these issues are new. None of these issues are anything that Trump has created, Trump and this administration has created. What I am saying is that Trump and this administration has not only made it worse, they've almost gone out of their way to make it worse. And they have no intentions on bringing any relief to the majority of Americans. Right now, our president, y'all know I don't like him, but guess what? He's my fucking president. Our president is more concerned with UFC 250, a fucking ballroom in a bunker, a 250-foot arc in the middle of the fucking DC, his name on a mountain. Oh, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. You know what else? With everything going on, you know what he's worried about too? That's right, guys. The Treasury Department is considering issuing a $250 bill featuring President Trump, though any such banknote will require a change in federal law, an agency told CBSU. And by the way, this isn't the first. Look at this fucking dick. Look at this fucking douchebag. Guys, that's the shit our president is worried about. One of the most incompetent Congress in U.S. history, right? They not even pretending like they give a fuck about trying to pass anything for Americans, guys. Y'all see that, right? They don't even pretend like they care about any of the issues their constituents got going on. Right? Trump is an agent of chaos and he's getting rewarded for it. Trump is actively covering up the sex trafficking of pedophiles. The sex trafficking of minors by pedophiles. And he's getting rewarded for it. Trump and that dumbass J6ers and they unconstitutional crap trying to steal the election, and they got the IRS getting rewarded for it. Seriously, conservative, liberal, it don't even matter. What does that tell the majority of Americans who play by the rules or do their best to play by the rules? They file their taxes on time. They pay their bills on time. What does that fucking say that our elected officials, the ones who are supposed to try to be the fucking best of us, represent the very worst of every aspect of American culture and American behavior? And we as American people, as a collective, we go in there and fucking reward them. We will come up here on social media, complain about term limits, and then turn around and vote for the same fucking congressman who's been in there for 40 years. And then pretend like we ain't had nothing to do with enforcing term limits. I gotta pick on Kentucky real quick, because Kentucky Republicans, you conservatives be whining about or one of the demographics that whine about term limits. Mitch McConnell, I was born in 1987. Mitch McConnell got into the goddamn Senate in 1985. Y'all understand this man is more likely to die in office than he is to face another primary. His last primary, y'all had the ability to vote in another Republican in the primary because we all know you was going to vote Republican anyway. No Democrat going to be your senator. And you still voted for that old ass dude. And yet you fucking conservatives will still come up here on the internet talking about, oh, we need term limits. Oh, we're tired of these career politicians. Man, shut the fuck up. So sick of this shit, man. We, the people, got the power to enforce the very things we want, and we don't want to fucking do it. It's almost as if the government is absolutely a reflection of the American people, because just like our government officials, when it comes to us and the shit we can do, oh, it's always someone else's fucking problem. You always hear us fucking men, right? We supposed to be masculine and non-woke and conservative, yet every time it's fucking time to lead, oh, it's always the women's fault. Oh, it's always the fucking gays people's fault. Oh, it's always the Muslims' fault. It's always the illegals' fault. It's always some fucking marginalized group fault. Man, dog, I thought we was fucking leaders. I thought leaders take responsibility. Damn, bro, if all of the followers got issues, then maybe it's not the followers, maybe it's the so-called fucking leaders. Maybe the leadership gotta get replaced. But unfortunately, the fucking followers keep voting for ineffective leadership because that's all we seem to ever get. Because goddamn, our country enables corruption. It enables doing all the wrong shit at all the wrong times. Guys, if you do not do the wrong things in this country, you are fucking handicapping yourself. Y'all understand that? All of us fucking people who pay our taxes and play by the rules, we are fucking ourselves over. That's the country we live in. And yeah, bro, I am gonna pull that vet shit. That shit was disgusting, bro. Yeah, that was our Patriot missile that killed all them fucking kids in Iran, bro. Disgusting. Not only are we the most dysfunctional country in our nation's history, we are now the undeniable fucking villains of the world. Right now, we are in our villain era, and unfortunately, half the country is fucking loving it. Bro, it's not cool to be a real man and want to fucking slay dragons and shit like that anymore. It's not cool to be a real man and actually want to defend the vulnerable and the weak. That shit's gay now. That shit's weak. That shit's beta male. Masculine men defending people that are vulnerable to them. That shit's weak. That hero shit, nah, fuck that. We villains. They fuck everybody. Fuck them kids. Gibson, thanks for the views, bro. You already did more than enough to support the channel, so you can have a good night.
There we go. You was going on a tantrum, you had me back there waiting. But listen,
my bad, bro. I'm about to bust a blood vessel, dog.
Yeah, you can't let this stress you out. I had my business partner call my phone. That's what cut me off. But listen, so we can agree that inflation have went up less than 1% with Donald Trump, overall inflation. No? All right, so what do you think?
I know inflation has risen. It's not a think anymore. We know inflation has risen.
How much?
At least 3%.
Oh, at least 3%. Let's fact check it, all right? Let me get out here.
Oh boy, here we go.
Let's fact check it. So you believe that inflation went from 3% to 6%. That's what you're standing on.
E, am I gonna have to do this again, bro? To you?
Hello. I want you to make sure
Am I gonna have? Hey, E,
yes,
you're
do it
0 for
again.
4. You was already 3
Dude,
strikes. You're out. I don't know why I brought you up here again. You're about to be 0
yeah,
for
you
4.
brought me up here. So I want to say you believe that inflation, what did inflation go? It went from
Read it.
3%. I can't see. You gotta stop using AI, bro. Let me go scrolling
Why?
because
Because it's accurate.
it is not right.
The annual inflation rate is at 3.8%, which is a 3-year high. Since President Trump began his term, consumer prices have accumulated an increase of approximately 4.8%. God damn, I
No,
lowballed
hold on,
Donald Trump.
hold on. It
I
wasn't.
lowballed his
Hold on.
ass.
No. This is why we gotta stop using AI. You literally misrepresented that. It's no way we was at -1% and we now at 3%.
Who said that? Whoa. You making up
We're
numbers that were
currently.
never stated. We about to
Hold
bring
on,
that
no,
up
no, no,
again.
no. No, listen. Bring
Hold
it
up.
back up. We're
Yeah.
currently at 3.8, and when Biden left, we was at 3.1. That's less than 1%. Where do you get the 4% at?
I just read the consumer prices have. Here, I'm going to pull it up again.
Inflation have went up. Listen, from 3%
Oh,
to
God.
3.8%. Is that a fact or is that not a fact? You can look it up. What was it under Biden? It was 3.1, and now it's
3.0, and it sits at 3.8. So that's the accumulative. Again, that's
okay.
the
Hold
accumulative rate. Hold on, E. That's the accumulative rate. And consumer prices specifically have increased an approximately 4.8%.
No, so the point that I'm telling you, so first of all, we gotta hold them accountable. If it was 3% under Biden and it increased to 3.8, do you concede that the inflation rate was less than 1%? Because you said it was 3%.
Yeah, I thought you was talking about the actual number,
No,
but
I am talking about the numbers.
I'll
Okay.
concede. Look, if you want to be that technical, yes, I'll concede it was only a 0.8% increase.
A point eight. So you saying that we done went to war, we done did terrors, and remember, inflation goes up regardless if the president does nothing. Do you agree with that?
So the average
Who's
rate of
that?
inflation,
Who's that?
what?
News 8. That says 8, right? News
It's
8.
I forgot who
I got you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. Yeah, fact check. Trump falsely claims the inflation rate was just 1.7 prior to the Iran war. That's the number you was referencing earlier, right?
No, it was 2%. The lowest it ever been was Trump first term, and it was 2%.
Yeah, and just
Then
to
we
be
went
clear,
from 2%.
we're not talking about his first term. We're
I
talking
know
about
his. Yeah, I
this
know
term.
his. I'm just giving you a history level. We went from 2% up to 9%, then back down to 3% because 3% was like the floor again. Do you agree with that?
Come
You
on, Eve.
painted.
No,
Hold
Eve,
on,
Eve.
you painted
Jesus
this picture.
Christ,
Hold on, we
dog.
was at 3%. You say if Donald Trump wouldn't have did nothing, it would have kept going down, and inflation would have been 1.2%, which we ain't seen
I did
1.2%.
first and foremost, I never gave a number. I said it was go down though.
What what
And
what do you,
guess what?
what do
The
you think it
chart
would have went
says
down?
then and the
Pull the chart up.
so if the number was at 3%, because we agree it was at either 3% or
It's like
3.1,
3.1. That's the
right,
same. That's the same.
right.
That's not worth arguing
I
about.
think it
Okay.
would have went down. I think the number it was on its trend of going down to probably like 2.3.
No, that's hey, listen.
Why
We
not?
can
Why
we
not?
can
E,
what
you
if
literally said he hit 1.7 in his first term.
he did not. I
It's
didn't
two.
say that.
It's
I
two.
did
Yeah, you
not
did.
say that.
So
No,
it's
I did
2%
not.
now out of the question.
No, no, no,
It
no.
was already at 3. It already dropped to 3%. E. I'm trying to
Listen.
give you some. I'm trying to shoot you down
No,
here.
no. You know what you tried to do is you tried to lie on me and say that I
Nine.
said 1.7. This article said 1.7. You read that off the street. I did not say no 1.7. That's where you got the
Bro.
1.7. You literally read that. They said I said it, right?
Yeah, I
That's
read it just now. You were the first one who brought up Trump's previous term.
yeah, and I said it was 2%. That's a
Yeah, and
fact.
I was talking about the term now.
No, that's what I'm saying. This current term, I don't think we will ever see 2% again, just because how much money was printed in the last term.
So then why did Trump claim it was at 1%, 1.7%?
I didn't hear that. If he claimed it, he claimed a lot of stuff.
It's literally right here in the article because they're fact
Well,
checking
no,
it. He literally claimed it was 1.7%.
no. Come on, we know the article can say he said anything. I'm not saying that he said it
Bro,
or he
you
didn't
know
say it.
Trump says all this shit.
Listen, I don't know if he said it or he didn't. I
Oh,
haven't fact checked it.
God.
Listen, what I am telling you, what I am telling you, first of all, the inflation normally have a what percentage of going up?
I think it's about like 2.5 annually,
2.5
normally. Yeah.
annually. So if we would have went through 3% up to 2.5, that'd be what, 5.2% or whatever it is. We wouldn't have had no complaints if it was your girl, your homie, right? But what we see is that we went into a war. We went into all of these different things. And the question that I'm asking you is that why do the Democrats try to seem like inflation is an all-time high now? That's my real question, because that's
because
the
because Republicans are also making the same
no,
claim,
I
and
don't want you to talk about
and
Republicans.
well,
Why
no, that's what I'm saying. Like both right now, all of us are making that claim because it is consumer and the consumer prices, the groceries. Again, we already went through that prompt earlier. The grocery prices in some cases 20% high, bro. And then on top of that, you cannot deny again the gas prices in a very hyper car dependent society such as ours, right? It's high, it's stupid high for everybody. So again, bro, everyone is experiencing this super high inflation
well,
rate.
no, it's not super high. That's what I keep saying. That's why I wanted to talk about the 0.8%, right? We literally let Biden have his inflation go up 9%. That was triple. Actually, if from 2 to 9, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. That's over 4 times, and everybody wanted to be cool with it. Now we went
E,
up 0.8%.
nobody, he didn't get reelected. Respectfully,
I just
Biden made the same argument, right?
mhm.
Kamala made the same argument. And the Democrats stayed home because the Democratic Party was trying to tell the people that the affordability wasn't a big fucking deal.
But you do agree, because this was my original statement. I went back. I want to make sure. I said that groceries was higher under Biden than they are under Trump. Do you agree with that or you disagree with that?
I
If
disagree with that.
okay, so let's start there. So if he had a 9% inflation rate, you saying that we above that 9% now or at any
Bro,
point?
that 9% was an annual. That was a peak. That 9% peaked in a quarter, and that coincided with Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine.
But no, what I'm saying is we hold everything that happens under President Trump
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
President Trump. Okay,
for
so
sure.
my question that I'm asking is, let's say it was a day. I'm gonna take away
Okay.
a day. Will we say in that day the groceries was higher than the groceries now?
Do you want me to look it up, E?
Yeah, look, see, you want to keep. I just want you to be honest. I just want you to be honest. The highest when we talk about these groceries.
Bro, I show. First off, I hope you know I answer your questions in good faith, and I do pull the prompts up so
No,
we
no, no.
both can see them.
Listen,
You know what I mean?
listen. Yeah, I like the conversation. It's good conversation. I want to get people.
Yeah, it's cool, right? It's
Yeah,
chill,
this
man.
this is good.
Okay, E.
Let me see what your AI say, because my AI be saying something different from your AI. I'm curious to see what your AI say. It's crazy that people think Biden was a better president than Trump. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it's even a question, bro.
Like that's crazy.
Yes, the overall cost of groceries is higher now than it was during the Biden administration. Who is this? Are you cool with NPR?
Sure, sure. Why not?
Cool with NPR? All right. How's the prices changed before the pandemic? This is September 19th, 2025. All
Hmm.
right. So it's been up 30% since 2020. That's already shit,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then all right, here we go. Here's a nice little chart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's been going up. It's been
Okay.
steadily rising up since Biden got out of office and Trump. And then you can see the correlation with the freaking trade war beginning.
So you believe, I just want to make sure, you believe the inflation of grocery is on Trump. You saying there's nothing that Biden did in his administration that would contribute to groceries going up.
I'm sure there were some policies that probably contributed to it, but I'm talking about the current increase of prices now.
Okay.
Yes, is all on Trump.
No, no, what I'm saying, even at that chart that you grew, even if the increases was so small compared to what was already happening. Do you agree? Like the top of that chart was thinning out.
For
Do
for
you,
us, for us, see that's the thing. For us, yeah, it looks like the increase wasn't that much. But you got to remember, we're talking about the majority of Americans.
yeah, listen, Drake concert and Usher concert sold out. Listen, you can't tell me
Oh
people.
my God, come
Listen,
on,
listen, hold
dog.
on, listen, clear.
Oh, come
Listen,
on,
listen.
bro.
People is just talking. Like literally, people just be talking about. Like people spend money on what they want to spend money on. Let's be clear, because what we are seeing, this is what Frito Lay's and all these people saying is that since so many people was kicked off of food stamps, now we're seeing that people that they have to drop the prices of their prices because it's not selling. That's why if you go to grocery stores, a lot of stuff got red tags right now. I don't know about your grocery store, but when I go to the grocery store, it's a lot of things on sale. Do you? Well, I don't know if you might not grocery shop though. Do you grocery shop?
Yeah, of course.
Like, cause that's
My,
so.
yeah,
What I'm saying is most of the stuff that I'm seeing in the grocery store got red tags now.
yeah,
We're
but
not
most of
paying.
the shit that I'm seeing with red tags, to be fair, is a lot of over processed junk crap.
Yeah, so what we really looking at? Because you said meat is more expensive.
Yep.
I'm saying egg is cheaper, right? You say You say that I say American rice is cheaper. Rice is cheap. You know, I'm married to an Asian woman. I can tell you, right? Rice is cheaper. Rice is cheaper than what it
I
was,
know
right?
she stay on the prices. Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the point that I'm saying is, I do have to concede that some things have went up. But if we was to take everything, like, cause we know that gas was extremely high in 2022. I think we got amnesia of what gas was in 2022, right? So when people say, hey, the majority of the things, and I get, let's say, let me concede to your argument, we're gonna take out all the junk food, we're gonna take out all the stuff that got the red tags, right? Let's say if they only got like fruits, vegetables, and the necessary things, I think these carts are more balanced than we think it is. Now, I do think ground beef is up, ground because they had like some pork. Was this you heard about what happened with the beef? Yeah. So it's a lot of
Yeah.
other uh it's a lot of other stuff that we try to blame on Trump, but for argument purposes, I just didn't want to bring it up, right? Because it would have
Well,
just been
well, hold up. I had brought it up earlier, but before when you first came up here. Remember, he had to bring the cattle in, but that was because there was like a disease going through like some of the ranches and stuff.
well, I know. Like I said, I wanted to have a dialogue with you, so I didn't want to
Yeah.
just like I can tell you 1,000 reasons why um, beef is up, and it ain't got nothing to do with no damn tariffs. That's 100% true, right? Yeah, like, just, if we
There's a bunch of
just
there's a bunch of things that go into it. Absolutely.
yeah, it's a bunch of things. But us just having a back and forth, I wanted people to understand just because ideology, or just we're on two different types of the playing field. You are a Democrat, diehard Democrat, and I'm a Republican. Like we didn't have to insult each other. This is what my real point is. I didn't have to give no insults to you. We can say what we believe. We can laugh, and you know what's gonna happen? We gonna go Democrat, Republican. That's the moral of the story. We can talk about what we want to talk about. I guarantee you, in 4 years, I believe our next president is a Democrat. I don't think we're gonna go Republican twice. That's my opinion, right? Just based
But
on our trend, right? And I'm telling you, we're gonna be able to get on the live, me and you, and we're gonna be arguing why inflation is still going on, because inflation is gonna happen regardless. Now, to what
E
degree? Go ahead.
E, wouldn't it be nice for us to have our typical Democrat and Republican back and forth, and our president not be covering up sex trafficking?
No, no, no. Let's talk about that, right? So I'm glad you brought that up.
Like, I would love for us to be going back when we just talking about tax rates and shit like that. That was the biggest thing going. You know what I mean?
So the first thing is, are you happy that the Epstein files were released?
No, because a lot of the files was redacted.
I know, but so you know the redacting process is not the president, right? You know he's not going through a million pages redacting it. Do you at least agree with that, or you disagree?
I agree, but his attorney general Pam Bondi was specifically ordered to release them unredacted
By who?
by Congress.
Okay, and so when it comes down to the redacted portion of it, right? Because remember, I want to be clear about these the Epstein files, right? I don't know. Can we say that on YouTube? I guess
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
say it.
yeah,
Everybody else say it, right? The
yeah.
Epstein files is nobody else was going to release these files. There's been a conversation for I know at least how long? A long time. Let's just say a long time. We don't need a number,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So do we at least give him credit for releasing the files? They was asked to be released. I get that we wanted the files to come out one way, and they didn't come out perfect. But the millions of pages that did come out, do we at least acknowledge that those files came out? Because we're gonna talk about your point. I just want to say, do we at least acknowledge that it came out?
Again, yes, I acknowledge they
Okay, okay,
came out.
okay. All right. Now let's talk
Oh my
about the
god.
redact. I just want to get past that part. Is that we asked for the files to come out, and I am happy that they came out. Now let's talk about how they came out. Because first of all, they said that he would never release them, and he signed for these files to come out. Do you agree with that or
E,
disagree with that?
no, I don't. E, I
So
disagree with that.
you think if the president did not want these
E,
files to come out, he could?
he had Ghislaine Maxwell move to a minimum security deal so she keep her fucking minimum security prison so she keep her mouth shut, right? Did played games with making Pam Bondi. Remember, the files are right there on my desk, and then she released a whole bunch of crap that was already previously released, and then had his FBI, Cash Patel. By the way, verified lied under oath because he told us there were no files, right? E.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was under custody,
I give
under
I
oath,
give
and
you
said
all
there
that.
were no files.
So did we hear?
Man,
Hold on. Did we hear the Democrats ask for these things after they came out asking why certain things wasn't redacted? Correct.
yeah, we had both parties. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the only point that I'm telling you is that both of these they in bed, right? These two in bed with each other, and we keep acting like they enemies, right? I think that this is what I'm saying. I think, and then we ain't gonna even talk about it showed that in these files that Donald Trump was calling the police and all this stuff on Epstein, but he ain't gonna get credit for that. I understand that don't matter. That don't matter that he did that. That's not important, right? The point that I'm asking is, I get it. I get it that, and this is what was told by the FBI. Now we could take it with a grain of salt. The reason that the files had been redacted is because some of these cases were still ongoing, right? Do we believe if they had ongoing cases, it should have had some level of being redacted?
E. When they were forced to release the files, they redacted the names of the suspects and unredacted the names of the victims.
No, no. I asked the question. I want to make sure my question get answered. The FBI reported the reason that they was redacted because they had ongoing cases? Do you believe that that was a good enough reason to redact? We're going to get to the point of what was released. I just want to know from your perspective, if I'm having a case going on and this can affect my investigation, right? Do I have a right to redact, or should I just release it and forget about locking up the predators?
In this case, he should have released it.
I feel like that's not wise.
You know what is also not wise?
What's
To
up?
call a congressman begging her not to vote for the release of the Epstein files.
You know what I know. Even if he would have, if he would have just gave all the files as is, no redacted the situation, it still wouldn't have been good enough for the Democrats. That's a fact.
That's faulty logic because Trump has always
No.
been in a damn you do, damn you don't with Democrats.
What,
And so he does what he wants anyway.
No, but that's the point. When people are trying to hold him accountable, so he asked to release it, he released it. You admitted that he didn't have the power to redact or not redact. That's the biggest thing is, like, we think the president of the United States was saying, "Hey man, what's on page 1,000,005? Like, take this out." I really think that he released them. Now, do we hold the people accountable that redact them? We should. The people who said they was involved with this was the FBI. The FBI said they didn't release these things because of the simple fact that they have ongoing investigations. And after the and they're still releasing files. Do you agree with that or you disagree with that?
Against their will, yeah, they're releasing
No,
files.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like you prove the point that it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because even by the end of his term, if all the files are out, if y'all see every single thing, y'all gonna say it took him too long. Like, yeah, go
The
ahead.
FBI director appointed by Trump was under oath and said there were no files.
That's
So
true. He's a liar.
now you're going to believe a guy who blatantly got caught lying under oath when he then tells you,
Yes.
well, there's
Listen,
ongoing investigations.
let me. I don't think it's a politician that exists that don't lie. And me serving in the military, I know them generals lie. You can't convince me they ain't lying. Like, so I
Bro,
think the people at power lies.
under
They're
oath
not.
on live TV, he said there were no files. Either man. Were there files?
Yeah.
Either
I said he was
man.
a liar.
As you and I, as former vets,
Mm-hmm.
what happens to us in UCMJ if we do the same shit?
Well, we was low ranking. We get Article 15. We get we might have to go see the general. We gonna see a whole bunch of problems gonna happen with us. Listen, I understand what the low ranking go through, but I'm telling you that general lied. People lie. I think that he lied. I'm giving you the argument that he's a liar. I'm giving you an argument that Trump's a liar. I'm giving you the argument that Joe Biden is a liar. Any person, Obama's a liar. Anybody who's sitting in that seat is a liar. I have seen politician after politician literally lie to me. Matter of fact, I can't remember one that told me the truth. You tell me the one that been telling us the truth.
I can tell you a few that aren't in the Epstein files, E.
Oh yeah, you're right. So, but being in the so let me ask this question.
I like seriously, I'm not just talking about being mentioned in the Epstein files like they was talking about. I'm talking about being a active participant. Like Bill Gates.
Oh, well,
like the Wexner dude, the Victoria's Secret
listen,
owner.
I think all them billionaires they get all that money and be free.
Yeah, and Trump was boys with all of them, birds of a feather.
Well, no, but I think so. Let me be clear, right? You believe that you can be a billionaire and exclude yourself from the other billionaires, right?
That's not what I said. I said you can. I said you could be in a power position, or what I'm implying is that you could be a billionaire or a power position and not be a fucking pedophile or cover up for pedophiles. So there's clearly billionaires who exist that aren't doing that.
No. So What was Bill Gates accusations? I don't know. I didn't see that.
Well, as far as we know, the ones that I think you and I know for a fact, because homegirl left her, was definitely the prostitutes and the STD joints with Epstein, right? Some of them were definitely, I think, was like 20, 22. Some of them might have been younger, but it was the fact that obviously Bill Gates was there multiple times. You know what I mean?
No. Listen, that's something. So if you knew Epstein, you was guilty of messing with minors, because the question wasn't about going to the island.
No,
Okay,
no,
go ahead. Go
no.
ahead.
That's what I was saying. Like, just because you're mentioned in the files, right? Like, for example, there's celebrities that were mentioned in the files, but that's because Epstein's talking shit about them in the email.
No,
You get
I'm
what I
saying.
mean? That doesn't count. But here's what does count. Here's another, oh my God, a perfect example, because we got another billionaire who's our Secretary of Labor or Commerce. Is another billionaire. One of them. But he literally said, that he didn't go, or that he met up with Epstein once and then never met up with him and never went to the island, and then had to walk it back and was like, well, yeah, I've
Yeah,
been
he
there
was lying.
multiple times.
Yeah, he was lying. So no, I'm trying to understand your flight, right? Like what your argument. You believe anybody who been to that island is guilty.
No, I
Okay, that's what
never
I'm trying to
claimed
understand.
that.
So because you mentioned Bill Gates been to the island. That's what you said. So I'm
I said
asking.
participants. I think you know what I mean by participants, man. Like, come on.
Also, you said that he messed with underage women when he was there.
I'm saying he was clearly messing with prostitutes and
Oh
probably
yeah,
knew
yeah.
about it.
Let me say all the billionaires mess with prostitutes or escorts. They don't call them prostitutes. You know, when you get to that level, they call them escorts, right? If you so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I'm saying I'm not saying that these guys did not pay for favors. Let's say that. I'm not stating that. I thought the whole hit on Epstein was the underage thing. So just because somebody's listed in these files and they're listed messing with quote unquote escorts that are older, do we hold them accountable because they're in the files? Or do we need some level of proof? Is they innocent and proven guilty? Or we saying they're guilty because they associated with Epstein?
We're saying that the people and the files need to be properly investigated.
Absolutely. Listen, you can say, well, I don't think you understand how hard it is to prosecute a billionaire.
Well, it wasn't hard for them to redact the names of the victims
No. When you
or
say
unredact the names
investigate,
of the victims.
no. When I'm saying investigate, when you say
Yeah.
that, so it's the reason the FBI and you start looking at the United States, the reason they have like a 99% conviction rate, they don't go after people without legitimate estimates, right?
Right.
Evidence, right? So what you're saying is, I'm not saying they shouldn't be investigated. Sure, investigate them, but the chances of you getting a prostitute, to be able to prosecute them based on them messing with an escort is far fetched, and you know
E,
that.
E, I do know that because, and I want to be clear, I don't fuck with Trump, but I didn't care either. Nobody, like, let's be clear. Most people didn't give a shit about the Stormy Daniels thing either, right? But Stormy Daniels wasn't a minor.
Okay.
Okay. Most people, you're a football fan. I'm sure you was cracking jokes just like me when Kraft got caught with the in the massage parlor with the ladies, right?
Yeah, that was funny.
But even though technically it's illegal, we know that's consensual and they were adults.
I agree, but that's my
The
question.
biggest thing is right. So the biggest thing with Epstein is yes, the fact that it was minors, and it's the fact that not only Trump is accused of being with the minors, other people, other billionaires are accused with being the minors. And guess what? Either man, yes, even if you might have been, if you're in that circle, either man, even if you individually might have been messing with one of them that was of age, you still knew what the other clowns was doing, which still makes you complicit.
So you said it's guilty because you knew something was going on.
you witnessed the crime while you was committing a
No,
crime.
because when you say you witness a crime, you believe the other billionaires was watching and they witnessed it. Like the reason I'm
You
asking
know
this
what?
question.
That's speculation. You know what? I'm speculating. How about that? Okay,
You
I'm just
definitely speculate because a lot of people say they went to Diddy party and they ain't see nothing, but there was a lot going on in the Diddy party. Like I'm saying, everybody ain't get invited to the back room. Kevin Hart said he was at the Diddy party, he ain't seen nothing. Martin Lawrence, like I'm saying, like a lot. We don't know if they telling the truth or not. I'm just talking about from a legal point of view. If you gonna bring some charges up on the billionaire, you better make sure that you got your case together. And I think they don't have enough evidence to prosecute. Investigate, sure. Should it be looked into? Yes. But when you start talking about prosecuting them, what we're asking them, or what you're asking them to do, you sound like you're trying to make them run into a burning building.
by wanting them to fulfill a campaign promise they ran on. I mean,
No,
nobody told Trump to run on releasing the Epstein files,
he
dog.
released them. He just didn't release them how you
No,
wanted him
oh my
to. See,
God.
that's the
We're
problem.
not doing this. We're
That
not
that's
doing this
hold
again.
on.
We're
That's
not
what I
doing this
said.
again, bro.
You
We are
admitted
not
that
doing this again.
out of your mouth. I just want to tell
We're
you
not
what you
doing this
admitted.
again.
You admitted out of your mouth he released them. Now, would you like to him to do it?
Against he didn't want to,
But he
just
did it though. He
he
said in his
saw truth in
campaign,
it. Oh my
hold on,
God.
no. He said in his campaign he was gonna release the files. He released the files. People say, well, I don't like how he did it. This you know what this sound like? You know how
That's
like
not even
people say, like, I remember I was having this argument with this lady, and she said, I said, am I telling the truth? She said, I don't like your delivery. That's what it sounds like in this conversation. You don't like the delivery, even though they did exactly what he said. This is the one thing we can say he actually did. There's a lot of things we can die on. One thing we can't die on is he released the files. Can he do it better? It's always this way. I remember when I was in the army, and you can contest to this. When you was in the army, you was like, my leadership could have did that better. Guess what? We went in the position to make that call.
bro. Doing something better is not the same as being forced to freaking do it against your will.
I
You're
think
getting
he's to
fought
release
tooth
it.
and nail to not release the files, and then literally had to be ordered by court, by Congress, by legal authority to release the files.
He
And
released it.
then once forced to release the files, you didn't release the files properly because they told you to release the files unredacted, and you redacted all that shit.
Trump ain't redact nothing. That's why you
Bro,
keep trying to blame this on
stop,
Trump.
dog.
You
Oh
keep
my
trying to blame
God,
this on
dog.
Trump.
You gotta stop. You gotta
This
stop,
is
bro.
all I'm saying. This
You
is what I
gotta
tell you. 'Cause
stop.
I gotta get out of here. This is the point.
Yeah.
This is a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. All right. The point that I'm saying is, in most Democrat eyes, you might be the exception, but I think you on that side too, right? It don't matter what Trump do, it ain't gonna be good enough for y'all.
Oh yeah, I hate him, bro. Yeah, I hate him.
That's what I said. So, like, we paint this narrative like he could do something to win y'all over. He can't win y'all over. So that's why I have the idea: if you can't win him over, you might as well do what the hell you want to do.
Well, and he's half-assing it.
All right, cool. You can say,
Yeah.
bro. So you
Hey,
go
good. Hey,
every.
go chop it up with you, E man. Hell yeah, dog.
So you do every Thursday?
I'm actually doing every Wednesday. I need to learn better, like to create the thumbnails and stuff, because BMU actually gave me the keys to the Ferrari, dog. You know what I mean? So
Okay,
I gotta
okay.
actually learn how to fucking,
I
put
got you.
the stream together. Yeah.
So you said today Wednesday?
No, today's Thursday. I'm trying to
Okay,
do.
it's every
I
Wednesday. I got
typically do Wednesday at 10,
you. Okay.
but I'm actually starting to think maybe just Thursday at 9 is probably the route to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not sure.
Wednesday's hard. I got a lot going on Wednesday, but I like Thursday. So whatever you do, let me know. We'll chop it up. This is a great conversation.
Hell yeah, man. You have a great night, bro.
All right, same to you.
Peace. Whew. All right, guys. Damn, it's 12:34, bro. We was doing our thing to God today, chat. tonight. We was doing our thing. Hell yeah, my brain is fried. I ain't take my sleep meds yet. Yo, we was doing our thing, man. I ain't been up this late in a minute. It's only 12:35, you know what I mean? But I'm old, guys. I'm 38. I'm already thinking about bedtime and shit. But yo, great conversation, great energy up in the chat today. Y'all was coming with that heat. Again, I always end the stream telling you guys, we do not do echo chambers around here. I don't care what political spectrum you on. I'll argue with you. We gonna go back and forth, whether it's the chat. But if you come up here, please put a face to your words. You know what I mean? Whether you like me or not, whether you call me a libtard or not, hey, you're gonna hear me right or wrong, crashing out, acting normal. You're gonna have a face to it, guys. You know what I mean? I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna be mad. Y'all gonna piss me off. I'm gonna piss y'all off, and guess what? We're gonna come back here next week and do it again. But yeah, man, shout out to you guys. All of y'all have a great weekend. Please be safe out here. Drink water. I know y'all, especially in the South, guys, but all over the country, the heat wave for some of us is already here. For a lot of other people across the country, it is on its way. I don't give a shit who you are, what you represent. My fellow Americans, stay hydrated, stay out the heat, take care of one another. You guys have a great week. Guys, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.